Texting. 5671. Mayday. 911 down in Miami
SOS.
Beach. SOS. SOS in
Actually, no,
South
no,
Beach.
no. It's don't call in any reinforcements.
No.
It's over.
It's over. The redoubtable one is back. I wish it was under better circumstances, but it's good to have him back. I was getting lonely.
When shit gets bad, I show up.
Yeah, when shit gets bad.
I'm a real friend.
Yeah, he is. Even though it's him that's...
When I'm in the fucking gutter,
when he's in the gutter, he comes back, yes.
I need to bring negativity to you
indeed.
and you.
Why not? I've got plenty, don't worry. This is IDD, for those of you in the know. Happy Friday. It's our first Friday show in a while. It was balmy today. 85, sunny.
It's our first Freestyle
Friday
in
a long time. But the weather's, I think so. It's been too cold, and we were just doing other things. Anyway, the redoubtable one is back. Tom Izzo, the highly questionable Andre Miliaccio, segment 1, which probably only going to be one tonight, boys and girls. But it's NBA playoffs. You may have just seen it in a Donnie down at the end in the last possession.
It was a Donnie.
It was a Donnie. The Knicks did go down swinging, I will say that. They did. They didn't bow out and pussyfoot and get blown out. They were right there. They had a chance right at the end.
I'll agree with
They
that.
did. They fought. And Jalen...
This wasn't a Phoenix Suns.
No, that's the other thing I was about to say. It could be worse.
Yeah.
It could be a lot worse.
This wasn't the Giants against the Eagles. Mm-hmm. This wasn't the Mets against the Padres.
The Knicks went down
They
swinging.
went into a hostile environment.
And damn near pulled it out.
And look, I think the mistakes they made throughout the game cost them the game, but still...
They had a shot.
They fought.
And they had a shot. Mm-hmm. And Jalen Brunson, boy, Mark Cuban, do you look like an asshole right now?
Love Jalen Brunson.
I mean, what a moron. You probably
Brunson.
set your franchise back 5 years. So New York Knicks fans, and I hate to say this, I'm from Boston, but there is a light at the end of this tunnel, because you've got a franchise player. I know you've got one, definitely one, in Jalen Brunson.
The best point guard the Knicks have had
in a long, long time.
As long as I've been alive. Maybe Mark Jackson.
I don't know that Mark Jackson
ever did not as good as Jalen Brunson.
Anything like Jalen Brunson did tonight in a losing effort.
But I'm saying they haven't had anybody better than Mark Jackson since Mark Jackson.
No. But they went to the finals. They were good.
Somehow.
But they were good. He was good. They were good. Mark Jackson is in the St. John's. That dude was a stud.
Mark Jackson never took him to the finals.
No.
Derek Harper took them to the finals.
When was he? But they were a playoff team with him.
With Mark Jackson?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got into the playoffs. They didn't go to the finals.
They ran into the Bulls. That's the problem. Michael Jordan was in the way.
No, Mark Jackson, I don't think lost to the Bulls. He lost to somebody else. He might have lost to your boys.
Sure?
Yeah.
I saw him hugging David McDaniel in one of the highlights.
Yeah, they beat the Pistons.
No. It was against the Bulls.
It
was him. No, it was the game, that epic 7-game series that Chicago won, but New York kept fighting back, and they had. I mean, that was the Ewing. They had Oakley. They had Mason. They had fucking
Charles Smith.
Xavier McDaniel, who was an all-star at Seattle.
So what was that, like 93?
93 or 92 was one of them, but it was an epic 7-game series.
Jackson was out of there before.
No, he was still there. He's hugging Xavier McDaniel and Gerald Wilkins, Dominique's brother there.
That was early 90s.
Yeah. So, but he was there.
Yeah.
I'm saying, and he was good. But he's not Jalen Brunson.
No, he's not.
Let's be clear about something here. In a losing effort, Mr. Brunson, 41 points on 14 of 22 shooting. That's not good. That's great, boys and girls. Against a seasoned, disciplined, battle-tested Miami Heat team in their house. He did that, okay? And he was 5 of 10 from the three, 50%.
He was unbelievable.
He answered the bell.
He was unbelievable. He made a big mistake at the end.
And the thing is, this is what I hope people don't remember.
It's not remember.
Yeah, this didn't. Honestly, if it wasn't for him, they wouldn't have been in that position in the first place.
It's heartbreaking that happened, because one thing I feel about Jalen Brunson is, like, 90% of the time, maybe more, he's going to make the right play on offense. And that's why it sucks that he made the wrong play at the biggest point of the game.
Yeah.
But he had a great game.
The problem is he had to do too much.
Yeah.
Because
the
other players didn't show up. Julius Randle. Let's just start with you. 3 of 14.
On the offensive end,
and the funny thing is, when Brunson threw that, he was trying to get it to you in the paint, and your lazy ass barely got a hand on it. And then you had that stupid look on your face that drives anyone. I mean, I can't imagine why he didn't break a few things on the way down. You're thinking of that face.
I like the look on his face. Whenever he makes a mistake, he always throws his arms up. Like, are you serious? Like,
yeah, it's never his fault.
Like it's somebody else's fault.
It's never his fault.
But he had a really good first quarter. In the first quarter, he was rebounding. Yeah. He was making the extra pass. Yeah. The Knicks were moving the ball.
They were. They played a good first quarter.
They were getting open shots.
Yeah, they were up 7. They should have been more, actually.
He was playing great basketball. And then the second quarter started, I believe.
Didn't you guys lead at the half?
No.
No, you were down 4.
We were up 14. We were up 31-17.
Yeah. I remember that.
And then Tibbs sat Brunson.
For how long?
Long enough for us to lose the fucking lead.
14-point lead?
Yes.
Gone?
It was quick.
I guess so.
Because, think about it. You were just saying it. Yeah. He had to do too much. With him off the floor,
they would have been minus
they
3.
were lost. They were absolutely lost. Quentin Grimes and Julius Randle turned the ball over. It was like a clown show. And I don't even think the Heat had Butler in.
And the thing is, they kept Butler in check. Butler didn't kill him tonight.
Dude.
They did. They kept him in check.
That's another thing you bring up, and I'm sorry, I'm going to be yelling and talking a lot.
That's all right. That's
but
why we're here.
One thing, and maybe, look, you know the game more than me. So tell me if I'm wrong here. But for some reason, and I don't know if this was I don't think it was the entire game, but throughout the game, and definitely in the fourth quarter, the Knicks were playing defense where they were sending the center, Mitchell Robinson, to double team Jimmy Butler on the 3-point line. And if it wasn't him, whoever was off the ball was coming and double teaming Jimmy Butler behind the 3-point line. And Miami knows how to play basketball. So all Jimmy Butler would do was jump up, throw the ball to the open man, then we would have to rotate. Okay? So now we're chasing the ball. And after 2 passes, they get a wide open 3. And this happened all series long. And to your point, they held Jimmy Butler in check without doing that.
I actually saw one of these double teams later in the game.
It was bad.
And here's what happened. And by the way, I get what Tibbs was trying to do. Here's why it failed. It's not the idea, it was the execution. When you throw a double team at someone on the perimeter, you must take away every option that is one pass away, meaning the only pass you're going to allow is going to be a double skip to the opposite corner for a 3. The middle guy's not going to be open because you're going to be there before he gets there and deny the ball. The first outlet on the top for the 3, depending where the screen is, that first shooter, he's deny away. He's not available. The only option Jimmy Butler should have had, if this was executed properly on the backside, because the fact they got him to make the pass, the trap worked.
Swing the defense.
But it's how you swing it. The idea is the furthest man away is the only man left open.
He comes to the center of the court.
Yeah, you take away. Yeah, the help defense takes away, and their points, their areas. There's the dead center, and there's the first pass away each side, which means it's got to be a double pass to a skip. Now, whether it's the opposite end of the floor, wing, or the opposite corner, that's how the defense is allowed to recover.
But here's the thing.
But they never did that because the first options were open. That's what I'm saying to you.
But even when the first option wasn't, because sometimes the Knicks did cover that. But Jimmy Butler is a smart enough basketball player to make the skip pass across the court. Then what happens is the top guy, right, the guy at the top of the key, he does the flyby on that skip.
Well, that's the wrong rotation.
Yes, I know.
Yeah,
they did it every time.
Here's the rule.
The center's got to go out and get him.
Say the trap occurs on the right wing. Okay, because when I explain, I think you'll understand. Okay?
So right wing means I've got the ball looking at the basket.
What that means is you've got 2 guys on the ball. Now, if the offense is right, he's got an outlet here. We call it the triangle. Outlet here, and one right in front of him.
He's got a guy in the corner,
a guy
in the key, and a
guy right in front of him in the middle. Yeah. So what the remaining 3 defenders have to do is they have to be getting there as the trap gets there. So when he picks his dribble up, those guys are already covered.
So the corner's got to be covered, the middle's got to be covered, and the key.
Yes, okay. So the only pass is allowed is if the guy's in the opposite corner, it's going to go over that first guy and into that corner. Now, here's how the rotation is supposed to work. In whichever direction that pass goes in the skip, the guy who's nearest on the man, he's the one who goes. And the reason is he's the closest.
To where?
He goes to where the ball's going to retrieve it. He's the closest defender. The guy you're talking about was 2 passes away trying to do that. That's why he couldn't get there on time. He was coming from too far away. I'm saying the backside rotation was wrong. So I'm giving you an example of how
You're saying the guy closest to the ball.
the guy closest to the pass. So say this wing's covered, right? The middle's covered, that's covered. There's the 3. So where's that last guy? Is he here? Is he
He's
here?
up at the top of the
Okay,
game.
so if he's up here, when that skip occurs over that first denial, that guy follows the pass.
But he's late every time. And he doesn't.
saying-
Okay, so the Knicks don't know how to close out.
I'm saying, if it was that way.
They were doing that.
And he was the guy? Was that the right guy? Are you sure? Because he should have been able to get there if it's on that side.
So sometimes it wasn't the right guy, but here's the other problem. The Knicks don't know how to close out a shooter. They do the flyby instead of run up and then choppy steps once you get there.
Yeah, and then
right? Isn't that the proper
if
closeout?
it's done right, is your hand goes up as the shooter's going up, and then then you elevate
Then you
and
come up.
contest.
Okay.
They're trying to block it out right. That's the problem.
Well,
and it's a flyby.
But I think it's also just not understanding how to close out a shot.
Well,
like
if
you can't run by him because
if he shot fakes.
And Miami did it every time.
Yeah.
Boom, he'd shot fake. Then another guy would come darting.
Yeah.
And then it's one more pass and a wide open 3.
Because the guy didn't close out correctly.
Right.
You don't fly by him. You stay in front of him.
But my point was they had bodies to put on Jimmy Butler, 1-on-1. And sure, he would have gotten his. He would have had more points. But you wouldn't have had the ball flying around. And the other thing that happens, because they do flybys.
When Jimmy gets his points, though, they generally win. That's the problem.
No.
56 points in this playoff already. That's letting that guy do his thing. 56 points he scored, and they won that game.
What you're talking? Was that game 4, game 3?
It was against Milwaukee, whichever one. It was the closeout game, I think. He had, or the 4th game to put up 3-1. He scored 56.
But see, to me, what was happening here was Gabe Vincent and this guy Strauss. They were getting too many wide open threes all series long. Yeah. I don't think it was Jimmy.
I mean,
I think they should have 1-on-1 Jimmy.
Well,
they were doing
to me,
fine.
the guy,
Grimes
the
was
logical
guarding him
choice
fine.
would be R.J. Barrett.
No, he was in foul trouble all night.
Well, the reason I say that is
Obi Toppin.
Either one of those.
Big, athletic, long. I mean, fast as shit.
Yeah, but is he smart?
No, he's not like the most intelligent.
It's one thing.
guy.
Well, let's say here's the thing. It's one thing to be athletic enough and big enough physically. It's another thing to be here. Because all that doesn't matter if you don't know how to use it.
No, Obi Toppin's not an idiot. I'm just saying, like, he's not like Kyle Lowry.
I didn't say he was. I'm saying he's probably not used to covering a guy like Jimmy Butler.
But they put him on him, and he looked good.
Well, then why'd they take him off him?
Thank you.
Why did they?
Why the fuck should I know?
Did he get in foul trouble?
No. They put Julius Randle back in the fucking game.
Who was?
He was in there, and Julius was out, and the Knicks looked better. This was late in the game.
Obi Toppin only played 12 minutes.
Yes, bullshit.
And he didn't have
should have played 25 to 30 minutes.
He didn't have a single foul. Okay, I'm just saying. I'm making your point for you. I'm just saying that he didn't have. So you're right.
And I'm saying
so. There's really no reason to take him off.
And he hit a couple threes, I think.
He was 2 for 5 from the
yeah. I mean,
3 rebounds, 1 assist in 12 minutes.
In 12 minutes, that's productive time.
Yeah, it is. It is.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I just think, I don't know why Tibbs was scared to do that, because he had the balls to do it in the Cleveland series. Yeah. He sat him down at the end of game 4, I think, and the Knicks ended up winning. He sat him down in the game for like the fourth quarter.
Oh, yeah, Randall.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
And I think if he had done that tonight, they would have won. And I don't think Randall played a terrible game tonight. Offensively, he did. I really liked him in the first quarter.
Mm-hmm. Well, he had a double-double. I mean,
and there was a couple times where I was like, all right, man, he's making the right play. He had an and one.
He actually, for the game, was a +3.
He wasn't awful.
So,
but, like, he wasn't as good as I know he is, which sucks, because if he had been.
This is the thing about Julius Randle, and Stephen A. Smith alluded to this yesterday, saying, look.
He's good when he's fucking good.
Regular season, he is, okay? But then postseason, he goes down a notch. And Stephen A. Smith can't seem to figure out why. And I know, I get that. Because he's very talented.
He really is.
Very talented player. So.
And he's big and he's
strong.
Again,
he's the one who made that statement the other night, where he maybe just wanted it more, which is the last thing you want to hear out of your.
Do you think maybe he said that out of frustration? Like, maybe he was just like, it's just like, God, why would you say that?
I don't know. The Knicks won Game 5. Overall, look, they were in this game tonight. For however they were in there, they were in there.
They looked like they wanted it to me.
They wanted it. They did.
Miami was
At
just
least
smarter.
Well, they were more
were
experienced.
smarter.
They've got the home run hitter in Butler. They've got an experienced coach with rings on his finger. I mean, from that perspective, this was a mismatch. And if we're being awesome, if we're being fair here, and I tried to explain this to him, about a week ago, this team that beat the Knicks is not a 7 or 8 seed. They're really not.
See, I know you say that, but
I can prove it. I can prove it to you. Okay.
Okay.
During the season, Jimmy Butler missed 18 games. Tyler Hero, who didn't play, he missed 24 games. Bam Adebayo missed 25. That's a third of the season.
Right, but they didn't have Tyler.
Tyler
They
Hero.
didn't have Hero.
I know, but the bottom line is.
But they made Strauss and Gabe Vincent look better than Tyler Hero.
I'm saying, I know, but the Miami Heat, if they're healthy, they're not the 7th seed. They're no worse than a 4. At the very worst, they're a 4 if they're healthy the whole season. That's my point. They didn't lose to an 8 seed. This 8 seed was 44 and 38. Most 8 seeds are like, if they're 500, they're lucky. Most of the time, they're a couple games below. These guys are 44 and 38.
But they beat the Heat in the regular season.
Their three best players each missed 20-plus games during the season.
So maybe when the Knicks beat them in the regular season, they weren't at full strength.
They were not at full strength. I'm telling you, the Knicks were playing against a team that is better than their number. So I'm not trying to.
Okay,
look, they could have had a chance to win it. You should be mad about that. But they were playing a good team.
No, of course. I'm not saying that Miami isn't good, but
Yeah.
I think giving Miami too much credit.
I'm not doing that.
When the Knicks, there was so many self-inflicted.
But that's
wounds
called
in this season,
that's
in
called
this series.
that's called inexperience. That's what that is. It is. That's what it is, for lack of a better term.
But this isn't inexperience when you're getting back in the game, right? You have a great defensive possession.
Mm-hmm.
They shoot a 3. It's a long rebound, and your two guys run into each other going for the rebound.
Yeah,
Knock the ball away.
That's Keystone Cop shit.
Knock the ball away.
Yeah.
They get the ball back. They swing 2 passes and hit a 3, and now you're fucked. That's not inexperience. That's
The
guys,
moment's too big.
What the fuck? Right, you shit your pants.
That I'm saying the moment's too big.
You
for me.
shit your pants.
But I guarantee you, next year it won't be.
I hope maybe you're right. Maybe
Let's look at the facts here. And I know nobody likes to do that on this show except for me. But this is a very, I'm right.
I'm in an emotional state right now.
The Knicks, I'm trying to be positive here. The future is bright for your team. Legitimately. They're young.
Yeah.
They're talented. They've got a good coach. They've got a point guard, a legit all-star fucking point guard.
They have a serious player you can build.
You can build. That's what I'm saying.
You could build a champion.
And this series, they fought. This series is going to help them because they went down swinging and they learned a lot. I'm not like there's no such thing as a moral victory. You're talking the most competitive prick.
No, but it's a lesson.
But you learn from it, and the thing is, there's things to build off of here.
Yeah,
it's not like this was they flew in 5 guys just to make a run and they failed and they're all in their mid-30s. No, this
You mean
team
the
is
Mets?
the Nets.
No,
Or how about
the Mets.
how about the Phoenix Suns?
I said the Mets.
The Nets too.
The Mets.
The Mets. Oh, the Mets. Yeah,
That's why I kept saying the Mets. Because you were like, oh yeah, the Nets. Oh yeah, the Nets.
it's his fault. It's his fault. But anyway, my point is that the future is bright for this team. Now, here's a question
but
for you.
let's not be too positive right now.
Well,
I
here's a
still wanna
question.
be pissed.
Here's a question. Well, here's one to be pissed about. Do you trade Julius Randle?
What are you going to get for him?
He's an all-star.
Right, but what are you going to get for him?
Hopefully, another all-star that will fit better with Jalen Brunson.
Okay,
I don't think he fits with him.
So, I mean, that's not even a question. If you can trade,
I'm saying,
if you can trade Julius
you do
Randle
it?
for a player that fits better with Brunson, fuck yeah.
Okay. Just wanted to hit your.
But
okay.
But you don't
that's what I wanted
trade
to
it.
hear.
But to me,
Not for
you don't
nothing.
trade him for nothing.
No.
Because some people are
That
like,
doesn't
"Get
make any
him outta
sense.
here," and I'm like,
If you're going to move an all-star
on a
player,
second.
you got to get something back for him.
Right. But I guess my thing is, if they're moving him, what team is going to go, okay, well, we'll give you somebody just as good as him?
Well, but here's the thing. The two things can be true here. There can be another guy on another team who's got all-star potential and talent, but he doesn't mesh well with what the team's trying to do. I got news for
Like
you.
a Cam Reddish situation?
Julius Randle is not the only guy in the league that has this problem. I can assure you of that. I can assure you of that. Okay?
true.
So my thing
That's a
is,
good point.
if I'm the Knicks, you're looking for a dance partner.
Yeah, so
That's my question.
So to me, of course, if you find somebody that fits better with the Knicks, of course. I think
Because here's what I would do if I were the
obvious.
Knicks. And again, you're next year. Is he in his last year, Randall? Was coming up on his last year of his contract. Do you know?
I don't know. I think think he signed a 3-year deal, so that would make sense. That would mean, right?
Because I'm telling you right now, and there's a very good chance this other part of this is going to be true. Next year, trade line, assuming that team in the Northwest is where I think it will be again, I'm offering up Julius Randle because he's younger for Damian Lillard right now. Straight up. And Portland might just do it because this guy would be younger. You can build around him because Willard's on the back end, so to speak. Lillard's got, I think Lillard has 5 years left.
Lillard 32?
32. But I think he's got 5 years left. And you put him next to Brunson, he may have longer.
So, does Lillard play off the ball? What is his?
He plays off the ball.
Plays off the ball.
Yeah, and he is one of the best shooters, pressure shooters in this league.
Yeah.
And he's a guy that he literally, I'm telling you right now, him and Jalen Brunson, oh, God, that'd be scary. As a Celtic fan, I would be scared of that.
Okay, so here's my thing. Okay. If you do that.
Yep. Straight up.
But if you do that, you would have to address the lack of offensive production from the center position on the Knicks. Because if you don't, that's really going to fuck shit up.
You and I have talked about it. I think you were the one who actually saw it first. The sudden return of the big man at the college level.
The Knicks don't have a first rounder next year.
You can get these guys in the second round. It's still a small. So? Yes, they're going to fall. They've fallen before. Dude, that kid from Illinois last year who's now playing in China, the big dude there.
Wembanyama or whatever?
No. He played at Illinois. The big African American dude. He's like 7.
Oh, yeah.
Remember him? The big
dude.
He was
Cockerson?
Yeah. Yes. Coker? Something like Cooker?
Wasn't it pronounced like cock?
Kofi Cockburn.
Kofi Cockburn.
Yeah, Cockburn. Coburn. I call him Cockburn.
How is that?
Because it's spelled Cockburn. It's Coburn, but it's spelled Cockburn.
How is that guy not in the league?
I'm just saying. The Knicks could have got him in the second round. And he would have been.
Could still sign him for nothing.
I'm saying you could get him. That kid has an offensive game.
Are you allowed to pick up a guy like out of nowhere like that?
You can get a guy out of the EuroLeague or anything like that. He's not yes.
Yeah, but I don't think he's off that. Like,
I'm just saying there are guys out there. He's not the only one.
There's just one major thing I noticed in this, and I mean it's all year with the Knicks because how they're built. Mm-hmm. If you go to the hole and somebody comes off of Mitchell Robinson's man to help, you have to give Mitchell Robinson the ball above the rim as he slams it in. Because if you give it to him
anywhere,
even if you bounce pass it to him, he's going to bring the ball down to his ankles, allow someone to strip it, and then it's over.
Yeah.
Or somebody's going to come up and body him, and he won't move. Yeah. It's crazy because I've seen him dribble from the 3-point line in and dunk, and for some reason in these playoffs, they couldn't get any kind of scoring from him. And I feel like if you take Randle out of there with the amount of points Randle scores, and he's big, he's down low a lot.
But Randall's not a traditional. He's not a big like that. He's big.
He's a big body.
Yeah, but he doesn't play like a big man. He plays like a wing. How often does he even post up? Does he ever post up?
He did it a lot this series.
Did he? Well, he should have. Yeah, he's terrible at it because he's never done it before.
No, but when he is going to the rack, he's not terrible.
No, he's good there too. I'm saying he's never developed a post game to complement that. And by the way, if you want to be a truly great player, you can play anywhere on the floor. It just depends on who's guarding you. And that's why guys like Bird and guys like Jordan are still talked about because it didn't matter who you put on him. He'd find his advantage on them because he was a three. They call him 3-level scorers. Okay, and Randle has the ability physically to do this down there. He's never developed the game though, because it's all he wants to chuck and he wants to slash, and that's all well and good. But when you have a guy on you that's probably half your size, you should be able to walk him down to the block and abuse him without even dribbling the ball.
I know.
And he doesn't do that.
I just feel like if all they have is, I guess it won't be all they have. They'll have Dame, Brunson, and
R.J. Barrett, who's a good 3.
He is.
I think he proved that in this series.
He proved he's a good 3.
Joel, okay? He's a good, not solid, good 3.
And he could develop into
He hasn't reached his ceiling.
Yeah, no.
He's young. No. He's young. No. So my thing is, if you're a Knicks fan, while it's bitter tonight, and it should because those ones hurt the worst when you had a shot. Those hurt even worse. Sometimes you'd rather they get blown out because at least they weren't in it.
Well, it sucks when it's like you're young.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a young team, and you're like, oh fuck! But if you could have just gotten your shit together, like you could have gotten to the next round, and who knows after that.
I'm saying you don't just win. there's a process. The Miami didn't just get this like this. They had to go through series like this too. They did. All teams do it.
I understand. I'm just saying.
It's
the
just frustrating.
Fact is like if they could have just cut out 5 stupid plays tonight, I think they win the game. Mm-hmm. They probably had 10 to 12 stupid plays. Yeah. If they could have just cut 5 of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
I do.
I think they would have won the game.
It's called minimizing your mistakes.
Right.
Because in a game like basketball, mistakes are inevitable because the game's so fast. It's a question of who can minimize their mistakes. My father would always say, look, I know you're going to make mistakes. Just minimize them. Don't make 10 mistakes. When you think about it, you might make 3 or 4. So minimize the mistakes. Because
right.
in a game like this,
refocus and go, all right.
Don't let it snowball out of control. And again, when you're a young team, this is the hard thing to fight. Because you're going through it, but you don't quite understand it. And that's the thing. So,
but they got enough older guys that shouldn't have been the case. Now,
who's really old on that team that plays?
So no playoff experience, but you talk
other
about
than Brunson.
Josh Hart, Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle,
R.J. Barrett.
Well, R.J. Barrett doesn't. But those 3 guys I just named should be leaders enough on that team, I think.
Well, I agree with that.
And Josh Hart made some of the bad mistakes.
Yeah.
Julius Randle definitely made some of the dumb plays tonight. And it's like from those guys.
I'm not the first person who has floated this, by the way. This has been going around the internet for what happens with Julius Randle if they lose this series? What do you think they should do? Because everyone agreed.
Stephen A. Smith said trade him 2 nights ago.
But he wasn't the first one that said that.
Yeah.
But the guys.
They were saying it last year.
If you go to NBA.com, I read that more than ESPN. NBA.com is brilliant because they have a beat writer for every single team. So that guy follows the team around all fucking year long. It's not one guy like Wendy, dropping in for a game here and there, and then he's.
ESPN has a.
Not all. They don't have one following every single team.
I think they do.
They don't.
Not on TV.
I'm saying that they have guys that they hire, or their teams that they focus on doing it because of where they're predicted to go, and they usually end up at least in the playoffs. Sure. So you've got a guy or a girl following them around all year. Like for example, when Tom Brady went to Tampa, they had a reporter. You're following Tampa Bay. Yeah. Okay, that's it. You're not going to be float. No, your assignment's them. As long as he's there, it's them. So my point is that NBA.com literally has a beat writer in every town that there's contract with them, and you get the pulse. And they've been talking, to your point, since last year about what Julius Randle long term. What do you do with him? What do you think his ceiling is? And if it's this, what do you do? Is it good enough to win a championship? Now, some of this was before Brunson got there.
It was all before Brunson got there.
Well, no, but this year Brunson was there.
It was because in his first year they went to the playoffs and he was amazing.
Yeah.
And then he signed his. So after that, they
got
extended him.
Got his money.
And he was awful.
He was terrible. Yeah.
And then this year
he pulled an Ezekiel.
And then this year he was outstanding.
He was.
Still frustrating. Mm-hmm. I mean, within a game, he takes you on quite the journey. Okay?
He's an emotional roller coaster.
He is. No, even in his best games, there's 4 plays where you go,
hey, you guys go on the Randle
what the fuck are you doing? Like, 4 plays a game from Julius Randle where you go, what the fuck are you doing?
They should have that stat. What the fuck?
And let me be clear. Look, let me be clear. I'm not saying this from a standpoint of like, I could do it better than you.
That's not it.
I'm saying it from a standpoint of you can do it way better than
you're doing it.
You've shown it so many fucking times. You're amazing. What happens at least 4 times a game where you just lose your whole goddamn mind?
That's a great question.
It's
Which
crazy.
Is why I think if
it's got to be frustrating for him.
I don't think
I
don't think the Knicks can go much farther with Randle on that roster.
Yeah, not with the current construction.
No, he doesn't fit. He just doesn't fit. And he's very talented and he can play, but he doesn't fit. Not with Brunson. He doesn't. He doesn't fit. He doesn't complement him. He's kind of off doing his own thing, and that's a problem because those guys need to complement each other, and otherwise it doesn't work.
They made it work pretty well throughout this year.
Yeah, it was their first year.
It's like you're fighting to make it work.
Now, you
want a team that really kind of...
You just brought up a good point, though. To be fair, they've had 1 year together. That's not a fair evaluation. Because honestly, with their first year together...
and they got to the
second round is probably their ceiling. It probably is. Now, year 2 together to see how they evolve. Because to me, and again, I did say this, the trade deadline next year. If they're playing well, because they're going to be better together in year 2, then no, you're not thinking about that trade because they're probably going to be better next year if they're playing better together. So we've given us. Let's see what happens this offseason and what happens next year in camp. Because maybe they're going to be better next year together than they were this year. Because in the year 1 or year 2, you should improve. So give it at least to the next year's trade deadline and see if you see progress.
But
if they're a top 3 seed next year, you don't make that trade.
Yeah.
You don't make that trade. But if they're
unless it's. But so here's my thing. It's like we said earlier. In the offseason, if the trade is the right one, you make it.
Yeah.
To me, though, mid-season, the only way I think you make the trade at the trade deadline is if they're worse next year.
That's what I'm saying. If they're in the top 3, you don't make that trade.
Right. If they're worse and you go, this is starting to go in the wrong direction, then you have to make the trade.
Yeah.
If they're the same or better, I wouldn't do it because looking for your number 2 option at the trade deadline ends the way Phoenix ended.
Yep. Well, they're older too.
But I'm saying
and Phoenix gave up a ton. They gave up a ton to get him.
But that's what I'm saying.
I mean,
because
I'm talking about a 1-to-1 straight up swap. Like if it was for Lillard in Portland, you could probably make that happen. A 1-to-1 straight up swap because Randall's young and they want to build a young all-star talent. That's how they can justify it to their fans.
So 1-to-1, yes. Yeah. I would only do it if it's like that.
If it's Lillard.
Yeah.
If it's Lillard, I'm doing it.
But either way, I'm only doing for a 1-to-1. I'm not giving you more.
Because I think Lillard is better when the stage is bigger, and he's just never been. His team's never been good to get on that stage.
But the tough part is,
but in New York,
I just think it's tough to trade for basically your number 2 scorer at the trade deadline to try to put that together.
But if Portland's out of it, which is a very good chance they will be again, and they know they can go, look, we got to do something here. He's getting older. He wants a ring. We're nowhere near a ring.
You mean out of it early?
Yeah, they're not going to be.
So like before the trade deadline?
At the trade deadline, they're probably not going to make the playoffs. We're going to know.
Right, but if you get them at the trade deadline, that's not a lot of time to.
This guy is a veteran. He doesn't need a lot of time.
So you think he'd fall in?
I think he'd fall. He's the best case scenario. He's an experienced guard.
Okay.
If you're going to do something like that, an experienced guard is the best way to go. Okay? Because they're used to handling the ball.
You put Kyrie with Luka, and that blew up.
Don't compare Damian Lillard to Kyrie Irving. That's an insult to Damian Lillard.
No, it's an experienced guard.
Kyrie Irving is an asshole of the highest. No one calls or thinks
of the highest pedigree.
Yeah, no one puts Damian Lillard in that category. In fact, he's the polar opposite. By all accounts, he's a great team guy. He's loyal to a fault. He's still in Portland, okay, and they're nowhere near contention. But he's getting old. He's starting to realize.
You really think they'd take Julius Randle for him 1-to-1?
I'll tell you why they would. Because he'd be the best, most talent available at that time. It would be him, and he's young. He's a multiple-time All-Star. You can justify that to your fans because you're nowhere near contention. Anyway, look, we're starting over. We're grabbing this 24, 25, whatever he is, and we're going to build around him. He's a multiple All-Star. He's a big wing. And by the way, in this era, you want to build around a big wing. The Lakers gave up on him.
No, I said third All-NBA.
Yeah, third All-NBA this year. That you can justify that to your fan base.
I just think,
and he's young.
I think Portland is going to be like Danny Ainge if they trade him.
No, they won't, because they're getting a young All-Star in return, and that's the best case scenario. And they're going to have picks because they're going to stink. You're not going to want the Knicks picks. The Knicks are going to be in the playoffs. You're going to want to keep your pick because you're going to be a lottery pick.
Look, in terms of value, I agree with you 100%.
Well, that's how.
But in terms of how Damian Lillard is viewed, I feel like they'll think they can get more than Julius Randle for that.
Not at his age. He'll be 33 next year. You're not going to get 2 for 1 from anybody for him.
Yeah.
You're not.
Well,
and by the way, you want.
Well, dude, if
you don't want one throwaway scrub. You want. It's about quality, not quantity. You're going to get a young, multiple All-Star, 13 All-NBA. That's the best case scenario.
I'm not saying throwaway scrub. I'm thinking Portland would probably rather stack picks.
Why? The Knicks picks are going to be at the end of the first round. For
I'm not talking about with the Knicks. I'm talking about if they're shopping Lillard, they're going to give him to somebody who can give them a few first-round picks.
First of all, Damian Lillard is going to have a say in this, because he has a no-trade clause in his contract. Okay, right. He'd want to go to the Knicks for one reason. They're young and they're a contender. They can win now with him. And
I'm not saying Damian Lillard wouldn't want to come.
No, but Portland, hear me out here. Portland's not – first of all,
we're not arguing the same point.
A team that's not in contention that can throw away a bunch of draft picks is going to take a 33-year-old. You're not building around a 33-year-old. You're just not. You're not going to give up a bunch of picks for a 33-year-old regardless
Are
how
you
good
kidding
he is.
me? What did they give up for fucking Kevin Garnett?
Kevin Garnett was a league MVP.
How old is he?
He's a defensive player of the year. These are two things Jamin
How
Lillard never
old is
was. When we went to the Celtics?
No, how old is KD?
Kevin Durant?
Yeah,
He's 34 now. Just turned 34.
34. What'd they give up for him?
I don't know.
4 or 5 first rounders?
They're not. You're not getting 4 or 5 first rounders for Damian Lillard. He's not
I'm
as
not
good.
saying you
He's
are.
not as good as Kevin Durant.
I'm not saying you are, but you could get 2?
You're not.
No?
No.
Well, look, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but
I'm saying the best case scenario
I
is
saw picks being thrown around. I mean, the Knicks had to
for
give
Kevin
up.
Durant.
The Knicks had to give up a first-round pick to get Josh
Kevin Durant
Hart.
is a 2-time Finals
The Knicks
MVP.
had to give up a first-round pick just to get Josh Hart, and they gave Cam Reddish.
I'm talking. Okay, fine. That's them. I'm talking about if you're this. I'm talking about a 33-year-old All-Star who's on the back nine. The only team you're trading him to is a contender.
You're right, a contender that needs him.
And they're going to give you an all-star in return who's young and you can build around. That's a great
The
deal.
Knicks couldn't build around him.
What are you talking about? They did. Jalen Brunson, R.J. Barrett, they have built around him.
Right, but no.
They've got a good team.
If they end up trading him, they couldn't use him. Right?
He doesn't fit with them. That's what I'm saying.
I agree.
So to me, if you're the Knicks, and this is you have to have a dance.
We're arguing two different things. I'm arguing that I don't think that's a reality. You keep coming back at me, telling me why it's good.
I'll tell you why it's a reality. I'll tell you why it's a reality because Portland's not a contender, and they're not gonna be. That's why it's a reality.
They don't. It's like we could trade him or we could not. Either give us what we want or we're just going to keep him.
And if you're Portland, the best thing you can ask for is a young all-star wing.
I think
who's under contract.
No, he's not under contract.
You're not going to trade him for an okay guy and a first-round pick. And you're not going to get any more than that because any other team in contention is not giving up an all-star. The Knicks are the one scenario that are because
I think they could probably get a couple picks for him.
Picks are... Thing about picks is you don't know what they're going to be.
No, dude.
With Randall, you know he's an all-star.
But my point is I don't think NBA teams look at it like that. That's why teams hoard picks.
I think they do look at it like that because if they can get... Again, it depends on if they can get a guy like Randall. Third-team All-NBA. Those guys aren't always out there.
All Philly did was just keep picks.
Philly hasn't been to the conference finals in 22 years. How's that working out for them?
Dude, you keep arguing different points. I agree with you. I'm just saying the way the league works is teams fucking hoard picks.
Look, but
I'm not saying that's the right thing to do.
I'm just saying Portland's not going to trade him for a bunch of picks. They're going to trade him for a player that's playing now.
I hope you're right.
Because trading him for a bunch of picks, you're like, well, we don't know what those are going to even be. You could miss on those. You're getting a bona fide all-star. That's a sure thing. If you're going to trade this guy, you got to get a sure thing. Not a bunch of coulda, shoulda, wouldas, and maybes. Because you don't know what those are going to be.
I agree.
Okay? Because even the lottery thing, that thing, you have to go through the bouncing ball thing. You know where the fuck you're going to end up with that.
Yeah, it's a fucking...
But a third-team All-NBA guy who's like 25, that's a sure thing.
No, he's only 25, is he?
He's not old. He came out early. He came after his freshman year.
He's got to be 26.
Let me see. He might be
maybe 27.
But still, he's not. He's still entering.
Is this his 8th year?
Yeah, if he came out at 19, which I think he was one and done.
So maybe he's 27.
If he's been in the league 8 years,
and that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not arguing that with you. Like,
you're saying that other teams
right?
Won't do
I'm
that.
saying I just feel like it seems to me that teams like to dream more than they fucking do shit like you're.
Some teams hoard picks. Not all teams do that.
But
not all teams do that.
But the shitty ones.
Danny Ainge does it. He's the one that constantly is doing that. Okay.
There you go.
I don't see a million other GMs hoarding up 8 freaking picks for 9 years down the road like this idiot. Okay.
Philly did it.
Huh?
Philly did it.
Yeah, but Philly actually drafted people, and they were constantly
Right, and
in the
they
lottery.
kept missing, and then they would trade people and get more picks.
Is that the cycle you want to go down? Because that's the cycle that it is usually. Or do you want to get a guy who's ready to win now and is all 13
Again, I'm telling you, I agree with you.
All right, then. Well, I'm telling you, I think you're talking about the minority, not the majority.
I hope you're right. I really do.
Randall, where is he? He's 28.
He's 28.
He's 28.
Okay, so he came out when he was 20.
Yep, he's 28.
He doesn't play like he's 28.
He plays like he's 20.
He does.
Mentally, he does.
But when he goes hard, also too, he looks like a young guy.
So I'm saying a guy who's third NBA who's entering his prime is not usually available at the trade deadline. Yeah. So if you're Portland, that's your best bet.
Yeah.
Other than 3 or 4 picks that who the fuck knows
it's
where
just
they're going to
the other part is
because those are like conditional ones too. Oh, where are they going to end up? Well, if it falls here, we get it there. But I'm not giving up Damian Lillard for that.
Protected, yeah.
I'm not giving up Damian Lillard for that.
You got to get protected.
You got to get an all-star. You're giving up an all-star. You got to get an all-star. It's just that simple. The difference is he's 5 years younger, and he's big, and you can build around him. So, because you're going to have picks already because you stink. Okay, you're going to have high picks.
Maybe they could give him Derrick Rose. You know, something
else. Who wants Derrick Rose?
It was a joke. Here's one thing that kind of frustrates me a little bit. So, Evan Fournier.
Who the Celtics dumped.
3-point shooter.
Sometimes.
Sat on the bench all series long.
You know why?
Because he stinks.
He stinks. And he stinks on defense.
Okay, but in some of these games,
he's a streak shooter.
Right. But why not try to catch a streak? Like, you have nobody. Like, nobody can hit a three.
I'll tell you why. Because Tibbs, as I said, at his core, he made his bones as a defensive coach.
Okay.
He's not sacrificing defense for a guy who may or may not.
But he is.
Why? Evan Fournier's not a good defender.
Julius Randle isn't either.
Is he worse than Evan Fournier?
I'm not saying that.
He played in Boston. I watched him.
Look, I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is
he had a nickname. You want to know what it was? Turnstile.
Okay, great. That you could give that to Julius Randle. My point is,
he's not as bad as him.
But my point is, you have these principles that you won't play certain people that won't play defense. But every game we look at Julius Randle not knowing how to rotate, helping when he shouldn't, getting blown by, looking at loose balls coming off the rim, like.
And he's still 20-10.
Right, but
is Evan Fournier going to be that?
What? How many shots did Randall miss?
He 11 today.
What was he? 3 for what?
3 for 14.
3 for 14.
Mm-hmm. He had 15 points, 11 rebounds. He had 2 blocks, which was pretty decent. He had the 3 turnovers though. I didn't see.
I liked his first quarter. He didn't
shot his free throws pretty well. Well, the whole team did really. I mean,
they shot good tonight.
Look,
I'm just saying.
I'm not saying you should
these nights where they could not hit a 3-pointer, it would have been nice to see a guy that can shoot the 3 in there.
Well, you could draft that
Quentin
guy.
Grimes, who's a 3-point shooter.
Dude, he airballed that shot. Oh,
well, he rushed
God.
it.
He was wide open.
There wasn't a guy within 5 feet of him.
He was wide.
And he spins and fades to the corner shooting a 3.
He missed it.
Still, he shouldn't have missed it as bad as
he missed it by like 5 yards.
Yes.
He's so far
not
from
5 yards. Missed it by 5 feet. It looked like 5 yards. It literally looked like 5 yards.
Holy shit! He almost hit Spoelstra with it. I was like, what the fuck?
Dude, but see, that's the
wide open.
Here's the thing about Quentin Grimes.
He pooped. That's the definition of pooping yourself, right there.
In the rookie game,
that was Hershey squirts right away.
In the rookie game,
yeah.
I can't remember how many points he scored, but I think he had like high 20s in the rookie game. Just jumping up, a beautiful shot, just 3-pointers raining down. In the playoffs, he was completely sped up. Every time he shot, it was like he was on one of those Papa Shot things. You know the Papa Shot games in the arcade where you just... You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Probably seeing a shot.
No, you know what I'm talking about? Like at a carnival where you're trying to like shoot quick.
He wasn't relaxed.
It's like, dude.
He panicked.
Take a fucking breath. And shoot your 3.
Stop pinching him off left and right.
What was his 3-pointers tonight? Was he 2 for 8?
What was he? I don't know.
1 for 7?
He wasn't good. He stunk actually. Let me see. Where was he?
Maybe he didn't even shoot that many. 1 for 5.
Hold on,
2
I'll
for
tell you
6.
right now. Here's the box score. Go back.
What are you, me over there?
No, I was
Abe Froman.
I went too fast. That's right, Abe Froman.
God, I look very yellow tonight.
You do. There it is, right there. Why don't you just pop up the first time? Oh, it's slow. Oh, here we go.
Jeez,
so he was 1 for 6.
All right, so I was close. When one of the things you're known for is hitting the 3, you can't shoot 1 for 6. Like, what the fuck?
Jalen Brunson was pretty much alone tonight, at least on the offensive end. They played defense, but because they
played hard, which was good.
They did play hard. They just didn't play hard and smart.
No, they didn't. Their first quarter was great.
One of the better quarters I've seen them play.
They played a
honest.
great first quarter. They had a couple
I mean,
turnovers
I'm
late.
talking all year. They were efficient, to his point. That was one of the best quarters I saw them play all year.
No, they played a lot of quarters like that in the regular season, though.
No, but I'm saying it was as good, if not better.
I mean,
one of the best I saw.
Yeah,
I'm
and
saying.
I mean, against the Heat, it was nice to see them play like that.
I'm saying against a team like that.
Yeah.
On the road, in a playoff game, in a hostile
In
environment.
an elimination game, you came out, you shut the crowd up.
They didn't crap themselves right out of the gate. A lot of teams crap themselves.
And
Like
again,
see Phoenix last night at home. Phoenix crapped themselves right out of the gate last night.
Can you look up the play-by-play? Because it was the last couple minutes of the first quarter. Tibbs pulled Brunson. And at the very end of the first quarter, the Knicks had back-to-back turnovers.
What time was
I want to say it was probably the last 2 minutes of the first quarter.
Hold on. At one
pulled
point, I'm just following the score.
The Knicks had
All
back-to-back.
right, at 2:40 to go.
Like, there it is.
Julius Randle hits a 13-foot 2-point shot. Brunson laces.
That was at the
They
buzzer.
go up 31-17.
That was at the buzzer of the shot clock.
Okay, now at this time, Miami calls a timeout.
Okay.
So it doesn't say.
Does Brunson come out of the game?
It doesn't say. Hold on.
Keep going.
Lowry makes 2 free throws, 31-19. Hart bricks a 23-footer. Lowry hits a 23-footer, so it's 31-22.
Now is where he's about to come out.
So it's 9. And then Butler makes a 2, 31-24. And then, oh my God, Knicks call a timeout at 7 points. So they still have 7. He calls a timeout with 1:37 to go. So then they come in, Randall miss, Hart
Is
Cody Zeller.
Is
Randall,
Brunson on the floor? He's not on the floor, right?
I don't know. At the end of the first quarter, it was 31-24. So you have to go into the second quarter where this continues.
And Brunson's not on the floor now.
Hold on, let me go to the second quarter because they do it by quarter. So right away, 31-24.
Substitutions.
Jalen Brunson is back in the game. He makes a 26-footer to make it 34-24. Where is this? Hold on. Now, 10:47, Duncan Robinson makes a 26-footer, 34-27. Hart makes a layup, 36-27. Bam Adebayo comes right back, 36-29. Bam Adebayo makes it was a three-point play, 36-30. Then Adebayo makes an 18-footer, 36-32. Khalid Martin scored 36-34. And then
where's Brunson?
I don't know where he is at this point, but
This isn't helping.
Well, this is the second quarter. It didn't happen in 2 minutes. But by the 8-minute mark of the second quarter, not like 6 minutes of game time has elapsed, not even, they are at the 36-35. So it was 31-17, and then Miami proceeded to go on like an 18-5 run, is what it looks like. And then Miami takes the lead.
I want to see where Brunson was during that. Because I was getting pissed because Brunson was not out there. They couldn't control
Well, at the 11:37 mark, he hits a 3 of the second quarter to put him up 10.
To put him up 10.
10.
So then I think after...
Offensive foul, Jalen Brunson. First of all, Jalen Brunson gets a rebound, offensive foul, a turnover. That was at 11:04.
I bet you he pulled him after the offensive foul.
Maybe he pulled him then. That was 11:04. Then Duncan Robinson makes the 3. 34-27. Josh Hart layup, 36-27. Adebayo goes back-to-back, three-point play and then a jumper, 36-32. And then Caleb Martin hits a 2-pointer, 36-34, and he makes a free throw, 36-35. At that point, 3 more minutes have elapsed, 7:51, when Bam Adebayo gets a dunk that puts Miami ahead 37-36. So that's how the run went down. If Brunson got pulled after the offensive foul,
then
it would make sense. Kind of understand why he did it, because he's probably like, I can't have him get his third or whatever the hell is at that point, which is what he's thinking. And by the way, you're in the lead, so I get why he did.
He was on the bench and the lead disappeared, and I was pissed. Maybe I'm wrong with the times, but
it's all right. But we have reason for optimism for the Knicks. I know it's a frustrating night, but second round against a seasoned team like Miami, who was in the conference finals last year and was banged up for a good portion of this one, that's not a bad season. To me, I think it's a success. So, again, next year, take them through the season, see how they're progressing. And if they're in the top 4 or 3 at the trade deadline, don't do anything. That's what I'd say with the Knicks. And, of course, you have the draft coming up, so see who they get. Even the second round, you can get a shooter. They definitely got to get another shooter. You can find a shooter in the second round, because Evan Fournier is never going to play for the Knicks again. I don't think. Very quickly,
definitely not.
Last night, the Boston schizophrenic Celtics,
told you
who didn't show up in Game 5 when you also told me they'd win.
I didn't tell you they'd win in Game 5.
Yeah, you did.
No, I did.
Yeah, you did. Oh, you told me they were going to lose Game 5. So you predicted
We didn't
this.
talk about it.
You didn't think they were going to win Game 5?
Yeah, I did.
Because I thought they were going to win Game 5. Don't tell me you called this. You didn't call this. Don't be a Joel.
No. The other night, you said they were going to lose and go home with their tail between their legs, and I said no.
And they would have. And by the way,
I said the Celtics are going to win.
By the way,
so I called
they
it.
were about to.
So you're saying I didn't say that?
But you predicted them to win Game 5 too.
So
and they crapped themselves.
So don't try to discount.
I'm saying it was blind.
Don't discount my pick of Game 6 because I got it for Game.
Also, I'm off my rocker for thinking when they drop one at home that they're going to go on the road and win. When
they play like crap at home. Next time you say I called something, I'll go, yeah, but you were wrong the day before.
What? I'm just saying that
I
wasn't off my rocker for picking them to lose last night. You're saying like I was crazy. I'm like, why would I be crazy? They crapped themselves twice at home.
Saying you're crazy.
Well, that's the way you made it sound.
I said I called it.
And then you're saying you predicted they were going to lose. I'm like, yeah, I did because they crapped themselves at home.
No, I was defending myself because you were acting like I didn't.
I'm saying you picked it like you knew something was up. You didn't. Okay.
I picked it.
Yeah, you picked it, but you didn't pick it. But that was a play because you're picking the Celtics the whole time, so you're not going to pull away from it.
Right. I believe they were going to win. Yeah. You were picking the Celtics too, and you jumped off and said
I did because of the way they were playing. They lost.
I didn't jump off.
I gave you a logical reason for that.
You could also say no, they're better than they're playing, and I think they're going to win. It wasn't just like you're an idiot. You just picked the Celtics because you pick them.
You
don't know why.
The same thing happened last year against Golden State. They had 2-1 lead. They lost 3 in a row.
Didn't the same thing also happen against Milwaukee and they came back and beat them?
Who was missing an all-star.
But still.
These guys are at full strength. They're not missing anybody. So
they're better than them.
I know they're better than them when they show up. But they've lost 2 games at home already, and one of them Embiid wasn't playing. That's why I wasn't sure. Because they don't do what they're supposed to do.
I'm just saying I called it. And you're acting like
which, by the way,
I had no basis of calling it.
No, I think it was just blind faith because you're like, I picked them to win, so I'm sticking with them. Even though they fucking crap themselves twice at home.
That's not what I said.
Well, I didn't hear you coming on going, you know what's going to happen tomorrow night? They're going to switch this guy, do this, they're going to start Time Lord for the first time ever. And they're going to lock down the paint so Harden can't get in there. Yeah, I don't think you picked it based on that either.
No, I didn't call their entire game strategy.
No, but
I just know they're better than them.
They're better from a talent perspective.
Right.
We don't really know.
And my belief is that they're going to beat them because of that.
They should beat them by 30 on Sunday. Doesn't mean they will. They should have beat them by 30 in Game 1 without Embiid, and they didn't.
Right. So why do I need to predict the entire game strategy?
I'm just saying
to say I think they're going to win.
I'm saying it's not.
I think it was logic-based
for
me to say I think they were going to win Game 6.
They lost Game 5 at home by 12. They crapped themselves.
That was ridiculous.
And logically speaking, based on that, they're going to win Game 6? No.
Just as much logic to say
if
they're going to lose
they are better than them, like you think, they don't lose Game 5. If they're better than them, like you think, no, at home,
disagree with
at home, no.
So you don't think they're better than them?
I don't know if they're better than them because
they're better than them.
No, they're better than them from a talent perspective. Up here, I'm not sure.
Philly's not that great up there either. Those dumbasses have Joel Embiid and didn't even use them the last 4 minutes.
If Boston had a brain, they'd have swept these guys.
I agree.
We're in the 7th game.
That.
So I don't know if they're better than them because they should have swept them. But they couldn't sweep them because of what I was talking about. And that's why I don't...
To me, I think it takes the same amount of logic for me to say they're going to win Game 6.
That's not logic based on what's happening. Based on what's happening, that Celtics blew that series.
What's happening is unpredictable. And when things are unpredictable, you could just as easily see any outcome coming. Isn't that true?
Who was the more talented team in the
Celtics?
Heat? No, in the Heat-Knicks series. The Knicks were. The Knicks were the more talented team, and they lost in 6 games. Why? Because of up here. Because of all the shit we just spent time talking about. They were the
talented
better,
in what? Like
they're
so
physically there, but I'll tell you how. They've got 2 All-Stars. Miami had 1.
Miami shoots better. They didn't have 2 All-Stars. They had 1 All-Star.
Jalen Brunson should have been an All-Star, and you know it.
I mean, Bam Adebayo's an All-Star.
Jalen Brunson had a much better year than Bam Adebayo did. It's not even close.
Right. Okay. So their only All-Star is Julius Randle.
Jalen Brunson's an All-Star.
All right, but he wasn't selected.
And by the way, you were saying that he should have been selected at the All-Star break. So you know he's their second.
Bam Adebayo's an All-Star center.
Not this year. He wasn't.
He wasn't healthy.
I know that, but I'm saying then you got R.J. Barrett too.
You got Jimmy Butler
And Bam Adebayo.
Bam Adebayo.
Tyler Hero's out.
Tyler
Not playing.
Hero's out.
So
I mean,
on
Gabe
paper,
Vincent was better than fucking.
But I'm saying on paper, the Knicks, man for man, Obi Toppin, they had more talent on the floor available. The Heat had more experience, or they were smarter. They're better. And I'm not even saying they're better coach, because I think Tibbs is a good coach.
No, Tibbs got outcoached by a mile this series.
I don't think he. Why? Why do you say that?
I've told you why. I didn't like the way he was defending Jimmy Butler. I didn't like the way when, Julius Randle was obviously not in a good spot. He couldn't see that and change the rotation. And
maybe
Obi Toppin.
Well, hold on a second. Maybe that's the problem. It wasn't it wasn't what he called. They didn't execute it, which falls on the players.
No. When you've got Julius Randle in the game, and everybody in America can look out there and go, "What is that guy doing out there?"
Not everybody in America even knows what he's supposed to be doing.
He's not supposed to be letting people blow by him, taking dumb fucking shots.
If he's on it, the dumb shots thing is a whole other
dude.
thing. I'm talking about just on the rotating defense thing. Okay. I'm saying he should at least be rotating correctly.
None of them
off the help
correctly.
side.
None of them rotate correctly.
Well, no, but
my point is, you got to admit there were times when Julius Randle was a liability out there, and instead of you know what,
he's a liability from a mental standpoint.
Right, and when you see it, you got to get him out.
But that's my point about.
That's Tibbs. He's in control of that.
Yeah, but if he's your best player.
No. He's not.
He's your second best player.
No, not when he's in that state. When he's in that state, he's pulling the team down. You got to get him out.
And who are you putting in for?
Obi Toppin.
Who can't score.
Yes, he can.
He's not at 25 points a game.
I'm not saying he's a 25-point game, but if the offensive is flowing differently and he's playing better defense, that changes the complexion of the game. Mm-hmm. When you've got a guy who's bringing everything down, Tibbs has to be able to go, okay, look, I just got a good spurt out of Julius. Let me get him out. Let me get him a breath. And then let me put Obi in. If we get 3-4 good minutes, I'll come back with Julius.
Well, he played 12 tonight. That's more than 3 or 4. What happened? Because he took him out, didn't he?
What do you mean?
Didn't he take Randle out of the game at some point tonight? He played 36 minutes.
Yes.
He did do it.
But once you get towards the end of the game, Obi Toppin was playing better in the fourth quarter than Julius Randle. He never should have subbed him back out of the game.
At the end of the game, you had the ball down 2 points.
Exactly.
You were right where you needed
exactly.
to be. So one could argue that Tibbs did what he had to do because they were in a position to win.
No. My point is they would have been winning the game if Tibbs had made better calls, in my opinion.
My point is they were right where they wanted to be, and that last play, the players they screwed up because they were right there. What if they had won this game, which they could have easily done?
They shouldn't have been that close, but Gabe Vincent finally got called for one of his fucking bullshit fouls. Elbows Jalen Brunson right in the face.
I think it's
they get 2 shots, they get the ball, they score.
I'm not going to say Thibodeau couldn't have done some things better. Okay. What I'm saying is that you take Tyler Hero out of the equation, and the Knicks are the more talented team on paper. Is what I'm saying. And I'm not saying it's a wide margin, but I think they are.
But there's talent, and then there's.
This is what I'm talking about.
There's people that are better than you.
This is what I'm talking about. The Celtics have all this talent, okay, but up here they're fucking idiots. If they weren't fucking idiots, they'd have swept this fucking Philadelphia team, and you know it. They'd have fucking swept them. They're fucking idiots, okay? They literally. Joel Embiid doesn't play in game 1. You explain that to me. You explain that to me.
I already told you.
That's on a level that the New York Knicks can only dream of achieving in terms of stupidity. Okay? That's a whole nother level. This series should have been over already, and it's not. And that's why I don't know what's going to happen Sunday, because I don't know which Celtics team is going to show up. And the thing is, usually a team this talented, you can kind of guess what's going to happen because they're not going to have a brain fart. And these aren't little ones. These are whoppers. Okay?
But so
there's no way you lose at home.
What's going to happen?
You don't lose at home to a team without their best player. If you're that, you don't. This series should have been over already. That's why I'm saying they won Game 6 because they are the more talented team. But they given what happened, why didn't they win Game 5? This is what I'm talking about. It's not with them. This is why you can't. It's beyond frustrating.
The Celtics are, in my opinion.
On paper, you're right. They're the best team in the league. I've said that.
Right. I think
they should win this thing, and it shouldn't be close. But here we are.
There's a bigger
one
gap
game from
between,
being out.
There's a bigger gap between Philly and Boston than Miami and New York. Do you think that's true, or do you think it's similar?
No, because Philly has a league MVP and a former league MVP on the roster, and neither New York nor Miami has a guy like that.
Well, I know. I'm just saying, proportionately, do you think they're the same? Like, I think
Boston.
You know what I mean?
Once you get past the top three, Boston has a severe edge. From say 4 to
in terms of bench.
Yeah, from 4 to 9, it's scary the advantage Boston has. But the thing is,
Philly's got what? Harden, Harris.
They've got 4
Maxey.
players. They've got Maxey, Harden, Harris, and Embiid. They've got like 4 players. Yeah. Legit. Boston has like 10.
And they have Niang.
And then it drops him, and your boy Joe loves it. I get why Joe loses his shit with this guy because I'm like, oh my god, I would kill that guy.
Well,
but I mean,
when
he
you
makes
compare him to the other 4.
But that's what I'm saying. There's a severe drop. Yeah. So I'm getting
Joel's drop is Malcolm Brogdon.
Our 12th guy is a 6-time All-Star who won the dunk competition, for Christ's sake. The guy, I'm sorry, the 11th guy. The 12th guy, what's his name there? Blake Griffin. He's had 5 double-digit games this year. This year. Off the bench. He plays like every 2 weeks. This year.
How many in the playoffs?
He hasn't played him.
Exactly.
Why would
he's like Udonis Haslem?
He's been to the playoffs. If you're going to play
Blake Griffin's not good.
He had, what did I just say to you? He had 5 double-digit games during the season, and he barely played.
In 82 games,
he didn't even dress for half.
I don't think he's that good, man.
I'm not saying you can play him in spots off the bench.
Look, I could say that the Knicks have an MVP for their 10th man. Derrick Rose.
Yeah.
Derrick Rose is not that guy.
Derrick Rose is not coming off the bench and scoring at 5, just random games, scoring 14, 16 points.
Because Tibbs won't play him.
Tibbs
literally
won't play him because he can't do it.
Either can Blake Griffin.
He did it.
You don't think Derrick Rose could have gotten 5 double-digit games this year?
No, I don't.
Oh, please.
Because I think his legs are shot.
Please.
His legs are shot.
And Blake Griffin's aren't?
No, he's completely healthy. He could play. He could start tomorrow. They won't start him. But, I mean, the bottom line is this. Look.
We have 3-point assassin Evan Fournier on our bench.
Who was a Celtic. The point is that what's maddening about the Celtics is that on paper, and I said this before, they are far and away the best team in this league. But
don't tell me I'm an idiot for picking them to win.
I'll tell you why you are, because the game's 90% mental.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. The Boston Celtics are walking proof of that. This series,
maybe 70%.
It's 90%. You're right. Red Auerbach, who's the first person ever, is wrong. But you're right. Okay. Yeah. Red Auerbach, Tom Izzo. America, you choose.
You got to go me.
America, you choose. Okay, because that's the guy who said that. But what the fuck would he know? He's only got 16 rings and not wedding. The bottom line is the Celtics.
He's married 16.
Because the Celtics are mental midgets.
That slut was married 16 times?
Will Chamberlain, 2,000 women.
Oh, God.
Got to keep up with them. Got to keep up with them. Will Chamberlain's lying about that.
Of course he's lying.
Anyway, the bottom line is the Celtics, if they up here were where they should be, they would have swept this team. They would have swept them. But here we are. And you're in a do-or-die game with a league MVP tomorrow on Sunday. And Boston could crap themselves. They've already done it twice in this series.
I think Boston's got them.
I hope Boston's got them, but I got news for you. If they lose, I am not going to be surprised. Because that's who they are.
Right. If they win, would you be surprised?
No, because they're the most
exactly.
talented.
So why are you acting like I'm a dummy for saying
Because the game's 90% mental. This is what I said. Look, I said before this thing started, somebody was going to get them.
So
I didn't know who it was going to be, but somebody's going to beat this team because of this.
So you get to basically say, I think both things could happen.
Both things can be true.
And if I say I think this one's going to happen, I'm an idiot. That makes no sense.
You're basing it off of the 10%, not the 90.
That's not true.
Yes, you are. You're saying they're the more talented team, therefore they're just better.
No.
Well, if that's true, why are they still standing here? Why isn't Philly on the golf course right now? Why are we in a Game 7 tomorrow?
You've already said it. They have a league MVP.
No.
They have James Harden, who's dropped 40 a couple times.
Joel Embiid averages 34 points a game against the Celtics. He was 1-10 against them with that average. Okay. Joel Embiid doesn't matter.
He does. No, he's their kryptonite.
1-10?
It was a joke.
The point is, I swear I saw Joel's face. I'm like, what?
Dude, this is a stupid argument.
It's not a stupid argument.
It is.
I'm saying the game's 90%. No, it's not.
Because all I'm saying is I think this is going to happen because They are the more talented team, and they have played better than them 3 times already in this series.
And they've also shit
And
themselves 3 times.
I think
Shit themselves.
Philly fucked up by not winning Game 6.
Stinking. Pew.
Okay?
Pew.
By Philly shat the bed in Game 6. And they're going into Boston.
Again.
And Jason Tatum is not going to start the game.
Where they've won twice.
Jason Tatum is not going to start the game the way he did in Philly.
You sure about that?
I am. This is what I think is going to happen.
Okay.
Okay? And I think it is grounded in logic. That's all I'm saying.
What logic are you talking about?
I'm saying it right now.
What logic are you talking about? Logically, this series should have been over. So logic's out the window here. Okay, we're past logic. Logically, they shouldn't be playing Sunday. Okay, the Celtics should...
I think it's a rational thought.
Okay, go with that. Rational thought.
That's all I'm saying.
Well, that's not...
Rational is logical. It's the same fucking thing.
No, it is not.
Really?
You can be irrational and be intelligent.
I didn't say intelligent.
You can have logic on things and be irrational on others. You can. 2 things can be true in the same person. I married one.
Synonyms.
I think Boston is going to win on Sunday. I think. I don't know. And if they do lose on Sunday, I won't be surprised because they've
Hold on,
done...
what did you just say?
I said, I think. I don't know. I think Boston will win on Sunday. I don't know. I think they will.
Okay, so
But if they lose...
So are you an idiot for saying that?
No, I'm not. I don't know what team's going to show up.
I said I think Boston's going to win. And
No, you said it's over. You guaranteed it.
No, I didn't. I said they're going to win. That means I think they're going to win. Of course I don't know they're going to win.
Okay, fair enough.
What the fuck? Are you
know.
serious?
You don't know. You just admitted it. Perfect. You just said it. You don't know. You think, but you don't know.
I think they're going to win.
Okay, but you don't know. You just said that. That's all I wanted to hear.
What?
Okay, then.
Am I fucking...
So if they lose
so this
Sunday,
whole time,
if they lose Sunday, are you going to be surprised?
No.
You took an awful long time to answer that question.
Because I'm wondering why you're asking me this.
I'm asking you, if they lose on Sunday, will you be surprised if the Celtics lose?
No, I'll be disappointed because I know they're better than them.
If they lose on Sunday, they're not better than them. They're not better than them. Because if you crap yourself 4 times, you're not better than that team.
All right. Okay, maybe you're right. But I'm
just asking you, if they lose, will you be shocked?
No, I wouldn't be shocked. Because they did the same thing to the Warriors. They were better than the Warriors.
That's what I'm saying. That's okay. Fair enough. You could okay.
I'm just saying, like, I was just giving my reasoning for saying, hey, I think they're gonna win. And you were calling me stupid for it, but then you picked them to win.
I'm saying,
how does that make any sense?
I'll tell you, because what I'm saying is that if you're like, well, logically, I'm thinking like logically, they should have swept these guys. If that team mentally was where it should be, this Philly wouldn't have stood a chance.
It can be logical to say you should have swept them. It could also be logical to say, and you know what? I think you're going to win this last game.
It's also logical to say that given Boston's lack of mental, that Philly can win.
I agree with that.
That's
I
what
never
I'm saying.
said that was illogical.
So I'm saying
you said what I was saying was illogical. I never said yours was. Don't you understand?
I understand that you're basing this off the fact that they're more talented.
Right.
Okay, and I'm telling you that's not the way to do this.
But you're thinking they're going to win on the fact that they're more talented,
no,
aren't you?
No, I'm
not.
not.
What are you basing it on?
I'm basing it on this is not a fact. They can't possibly crap themselves 3 times at home.
Right. So
I don't know that.
So you think the good version of them is going to show up?
But that's not talent. They're going to play mentally. They're going to play the game the right way. They're not going to jack 53s. Okay,
well,
they're not going to sit there and you know what we're going to do? We're going to leave Harden one-on-one again on Al Horford one-on-one again. Okay, they're not going to be stupid enough to do that again.
Talent plays well. Okay,
that's what I'm saying. It's not about. I
don't think they're just going to play like shit, but their talent's going to bring them to the top.
Their talent couldn't save them already. If all they needed was their talent, this would have been over.
I hate when we get in arguments like this. Because I'm making
the point that talent means nothing if you don't have it up here.
But that's
and you're saying it's like 70%.
The argument.
The argument is the game's 90% mental, and this is why Philly has. To me, this game is a coin flip game on Sunday because of that. Because Boston up here has fucked this thing up 6 ways to Sunday.
This because we're not even arguing the thing we started arguing. Because
I was saying
I said I think the Celtics are going to win. You said that's ridiculous. If you're using any,
I asked you why, and you said they're the more talented team. I'm like, that's not why they're going to win.
No,
because if that were true,
I gave more reasons than that.
You said to me, I think they're the more talented team. I'm like,
so
if that's true,
the main thing.
Okay,
That is the main thing. They're the more talented team. Again, same way you said. I don't think the bad version of them is going to show up 4 times. I agree.
I'm talking about up here. This is the thing.
I know.
It's not,
the bad version is the mental mistakes.
The 90% of the game. That's the problem. If they do this, I'm saying their talent won't save them. They won't overcome
I agree with that.
That's all I'm saying.
Again, you're changing the argument.
I'm not changing the argument. I'm saying to you that talent has nothing to do with this.
It does.
No, it doesn't. If that's all that mattered, this series would be over. It's not, because it's
I'm
not all
not
that matters.
saying it's all that matters. I'm saying it does matter.
I'm saying it's not the determining factor. Otherwise, it would have been over already. It's going to come down to up here.
Right.
And if they don't play well up here, their talent won't save them. It won't save them.
I agree.
So
with that.
that's the problem. I'm sorry. That's the point I'm trying to make.
I still think that physical talent has more to do than you're giving credit for. And with that being said, I don't think that the Celtics can go out there and sleepwalk and win. I'm just saying, if they play well, right?
That's a mental thing up here. That's decision making.
When I say
that's decision making,
I understand. But when you combine that decision making with superior talent, you fucking win every time.
Miami was not as physically talented as the Knicks, but up here they were better, and that's why they won.
Right. So if
they weren't as physically as good, though, they weren't as talented.
Right. But the Knicks mentally couldn't play with them,
and that's more important. My point is, the team that wasn't as talented beat the team that was more talented because mentally it was better. That's my point. Right. So talent doesn't win every time.
I didn't say it did. I said superior talent combined with the proper decision making wins every time.
However,
that's my point.
Well, the thing is, Miami was not the superior team talent-wise, but they outplayed them.
Right, because the Knicks did not combine their talent with the proper decision.
This is why Sunday's game is a coin flip.
Sure. Both things could happen.
Because
that was true from the start. You said it's unpredictable. I don't know what's going to happen.
They're unpredictable.
Yes.
The Celtics. There are teams you can predict. The Celtics you can't predict.
Well, Philly is just as unpredictable if you look at this series. Philly getting blown out. Philly losing that game the other night was very unpredictable.
Philly that series should have been over in 5 max. You know
with
it now.
Boston winning.
Yes.
But,
so to say Philly losing that night, I mean, like
no. But they've been unpredictable. Like Harden drops like 40 and then he disappears. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is a weird team.
When Boston defends him the right way, they make him disappear.
Okay.
And the question is, why don't they do it every fucking game?
Okay, well, let's not get into a different argument. Again, all I'm saying is, I'm not my first reason for why I think they're going to win is, yes, they're superior talent-wise. And, of course, when they play within themselves, they blow this team off the fucking street. So my way of thinking is, I think that's going to happen. Now, yes, they have to show up mentally in order for that to happen. I think they will.
Well, that's 90% of the game.
I think that's a rational thought.
Because if they don't,
they're going to lose again. I think that's a rational thought to say that.
If they show up here, yes.
Right.
But that's the problem. They haven't 3 times already.
Right, but they have 3 other times.
One of those times, their other team's best player wasn't on the floor. That's unacceptable. That is inexcusable. Okay,
Did he miss one game or 2?
He missed the first one in Boston.
Okay, so then
they lost at home.
Boston has won 3 with him. They've showed up.
No, they won
times.
2 with him.
So
it's 3-3.
So he missed 2 games.
No, he missed the first one. Boston lost that game.
So Boston has won 3 games against Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I think they're going to win a 4th. I think they will show up.
I don't know. I hope they show up, but I don't. They proved they should have showed up in game 5 too, but they didn't.
No doubt. But they showed up in game 6.
They should have showed up in game 1 when they should have pasted that team by 30, and then they lose by 4. He shows up and they paste them by 30 with him. That makes no fucking sense.
I know.
That's why I'm saying it. They're impossible to predict.
Agreed.
It's just
But I can say what I think's going to happen.
All I was saying is that my point was that the game's 90% mental, and the Celtics are living, breathing proof of that. Okay, because they're in with the team talent-wise, they're far superior to after the top 3. You're right about that. And yet we're in a deciding game tomorrow because they're fucking mental midgets. That's why Sunday is happening. Because up here they have And they did it last year too. This is not like this is out of nowhere.
I have a dumb opinion, but he's got the same opinion as me.
No, I do. No. You're
win.
saying talent's the number one reason. I'm saying with them, mental's the number one reason, not talent. They've always had talent. Talent ain't their problem in life. Their problem is up here, and it's still their problem a year and a half later.
If they just played an entirely mental game and didn't move, they would lose.
No, they wouldn't. Miami Heat played a mental game against a superior talented team and won. No, without their second leading scorer.
But they played, but their physical gifts came through too.
Yeah, but New York was the more talented team. If Tyler Hero's in there, all right, you could have an argument. He's out. So no, they do not match up from a talent perspective with New York. They don't. But they beat them in 6 because they played the game better, not because they out talented them. They did not. They outplayed them. That's different. And
I guess we're seeing talent and play. They have better 3-point shooters than the Knicks by far.
Yeah, but the Knicks have more. They're bigger. They're more athletic. They're faster. They have big wings that can all day long. They can go the hoop. They have a lot of guys that physically they can impose their will on teams.
Caleb Martin looked just as big as our wings.
I know, but
Gabe Vincent was defending Jalen Brunson like a fucking beast the whole series.
Jalen Brunson averaged like 30-something points.
I know. But Gabe Vincent was all over his ass every minute of the fucking day.
Well, if that's the definition of all over his ass, 32 points a game, then you and I have different. All over our ass would be the Celtics on Harden last night. We had 13. That's all over your ass. Did Jalen Brunson have a 13-point game in this series?
No.
He did not. 20. No. So,
but nobody could guard him. He's fucking nasty.
Nobody on Miami could technically guard him. That's the other thing. He 41 tonight, and he was an efficient 41.
Yeah.
14 for 22 and 50%.
Can't shoot.
I'm saying the rest of the team crapped themselves and if Julius Randle had just had a post game, he'd have dropped 30. But anyway, the point is, I think the Knicks are headed in the right direction. I do. And it should hurt because they had a shot, and I get that. But the future, I think, is bright in New York, and I can't remember the last time I actually said that. Really meant it. Really believed it. You know what? That team next year is going to be better, and I think they are.
So you don't think they should fire Thibodeau?
I think that would be a monumental mistake. I don't think Thibodeau's the problem.
What about Brunson's dad? Would that be weird?
What? How's he a problem?
No, I'm talking about elevating him.
I don't think the coaching is the problem in New York. I think their second best player, the best player, has a screw loose, and I think his ceiling. He's hit his ceiling with this team. But again,
he's not the only problem.
But here's the thing. No, he's not the only problem. But he right now is the biggest one. Because and the thing is, what's frustrating is he's an all-star.
I wonder if they can give Mitchell Robinson a post game. If that guy could just learn a turnaround hook.
Kobe Bryant talked about going to work out with Hakeem Olajuwon, and Olajuwon taught him how to play in the post and footwork and everything.
Well, Mitchell Robinson does not have feet.
No, but what if you employ Hakeem Olajuwon's still out there? There are guys like that. You can employ a guy like that. Kevin McHale's still out there.
I wish they could, man, because that guy is so big.
He is big. And he's athletic.
Right.
He's big and athletic.
He can
he's
run.
some guys are like big schleps. This guy's big and athletic.
Runs,
but he's athletic. He can jump. He's got good timing.
When he gets the ball on offense, it's almost like
he has no skills.
But the weird thing is, I've seen guys. I saw him get the ball outside the 3-point line. This was earlier in the season, and a defender got off of him and left him. They gave him a lane.
Yeah.
3 left-handed dribbles, and.
Yeah, he is a specimen.
But
athletically very talented, big and athletic.
So I don't understand why when he gets the ball down low, it's like if it's not an immediate dunk, his first move is always this.
All right, I'm glad you brought this
up. The ball goes down, and I'm like, dude, you're 7 foot.
This guy right here is living proof that the game is 90% mental. Because he has all that talent, and you put the ball in his hands, and he looks like you gave him
talent, though.
Physically speaking.
Like he doesn't do anything. Like he can't shoot.
He has no skill. Remember now, you're born with talent. You acquire skill. Okay. I wasn't born with a jump shot. I had to develop that over the years. I wasn't born with a crossover dribble. I developed. What is
the talent?
The talent is the size, the speed, the hand-eye coordination. That's natural.
That's talent.
That's physical talent. There's a difference between physical talent and skill.
So strength is talent.
Physical
speed is talent.
Speed is talent. Yes, physically.
Really?
If you're naturally fast. You're a natural athlete, you're physically gifted. Now, how you develop that is up to you.
But physically gifted and talented are different, right? Or no?
No. So I'm talking about skill.
I haven't known what talent was all my life.
His problem, the guy you're talking about, is not talent. It's he doesn't have any skills.
I need to look up the definition of talent.
Go ahead. I'm just saying that skill is developed. Talent you're born with.
Yeah.
Now, can you develop it? Yeah, you can run track and get faster and lift weights and get stronger. But you have natural. This kid is a natural athlete and he's big. Okay, but from a skill set perspective, you say he catches the ball. He looks like someone handed him that ball of kryptonite.
Okay, so talent definition: a natural aptitude,
Natural.
an inner quality that emerges effortlessly.
Physical talent. Like he just naturally grows to be 6'10".
No.
And he's fast. He's big and he's fast.
No, an inner quality is not size or strength.
Physical talent. Physical. That's physical. That's not a skill. That's physical. It's natural. You were born with it. Like I was born to grow to be this size, 6'4".
But a physical talent it's a physical gift, right?
Talent and gift can be the same thing. But I'm just saying that the skills are acquired. You're not born with a skill. You acquire. You had to learn how to write. You have to learn how to read.
But talent is almost like a natural skill.
Yeah, but he wasn't born with post moves. You have to learn how to do that. That's a skill. You're not
right,
born
but you
with,
have to be born with like quick feet, right?
That's no. Kevin McHale didn't have quick feet.
You build that.
You build
through like calisthenics and shit.
Yeah, you can athletically get in better shape. You can condition yourself.
Okay, so let's see. Talent and skill describe related properties, but they are not exactly the same.
No.
Talent comes naturally, while skill is something you develop through learning.
That's what I'm saying.
But size is not talent.
Yeah, you can't teach size.
Right.
You either get it or you don't.
Talent is an aptitude. It's an inner quality. You know what I'm saying? Like size and strength.
I'm talking about physical talent, like God-given gifts, physical talent, like your size, natural speed. You're strong. You have big bone structure. You have strong physical frame. That's a talent, physical talent. You didn't develop that. You were handed that.
According to research, genes play a significant role in talent.
They do.
They form the way individuals respond. See, this is different than what you're talking about. They form the way individuals respond to certain stimuli and how they seek out specific experiences. The environment is equally important for talent identification and development. For example, a child with an ear for music does not necessarily become a musical genius.
No.
So that is like a skill, but it's like a natural skill.
No, but he has to develop that. That's what they're saying. He doesn't just become a musician.
Right, but it's not like...
He may have the talent to do it.
But you can't go, oh, he's got a big ear. He's got physical...
Well, that's the analogy they're using. They're saying he has a knack or a thing for music, but he doesn't just become...
A knack. It's not a size thing.
That's one component of this. There's several. I'm saying you can be... when you're a natural athlete... You were born to be an athlete because your father was an athlete.
But that means like you've got like good motor skills, or you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
like,
but
it's not about size.
But my point is this: just because he's tall doesn't have post moves. You have to develop them. That's a skill. Having post play is a skill. Having an outside shot is a skill.
Right, but being big is not a talent.
Yes. Well, what is it?
It's just what you are.
That's physical talent. You're born with that. All right, he's naturally fast. He's naturally can jump. He's naturally strong. That's a talent. You're born.
I don't think so.
Can you develop that? Yes, of course you can. But
you're
born
strong.
with
that doesn't make you talented. Like that's not like
it's a talent you have to develop. Otherwise, it's just a talent. If you don't develop it, then it's a waste. You ever heard of wasted talent? That's what that is.
I've heard of wasted talent.
That's what that means. When you have a talent that you don't develop it, you wasted it. Whatever you wasted it.
But you can waste your physical body, but your physical body is not talent.
There are a lot of athletic big guys that just didn't develop or rather develop their game to do and go. They got to a certain level and they stopped because they stopped working at it. That happens all the time.
But I'm saying I guess if Mitchell Robinson
I'm saying if you put Mitchell Robinson with Akeem Olajuwon for one summer, you would see a drastic interest in Mitchell Robinson. And Kobe Bryant talked about it when he worked. Where'd you develop your post game? I went and worked with Akeem. Are you crazy? He He's like, I didn't have a post game, but then Hakeem taught me about footwork and about where to catch the ball on the block and being able to go baseline, having the spacing, and how to use your elbow and how to use your lower body. He taught him all that. And he practiced it, and that's how he developed a post game. And that's the thing about with Jordan.
I understand
that's
that
all
he
I'm
needs to
saying.
develop a post game.
Yeah.
Now I'm just stuck on the whole. I don't think your physical nature is talent. You know what I'm saying? Like
I think it is.
If a guy has big muscles, I don't think he's talented.
Strength isn't a talent. A lot of people can't just lift things. A lot of people aren't just naturally fast either.
Right.
Some guys are just fast because they're athletes. They're just athletic. That's a talent.
I don't know. It doesn't seem like it. Maybe you're right. I don't know.
I'm just saying that kid has the physical talents to be a heck of a player, but he has to get the skill to go with it.
Talents are mental strengths that can be useful in any pursuit, art, or profession. So this is a different view on it. These include innate abilities, which come naturally to an individual, and skills developed through disciplined practice.
That's the skill thing.
Okay, so some common talents are rational thought, emotional intelligence, visual thinking, decision-making, and situational intelligence.
That's all mental. What about physical?
Let's see.
Type in physical talent and see if that even gives you an answer. Yeah.
I said, what are some physical talents? 47 best talent examples.
There's 47 of them.
Talents are natural skills and abilities. It may seem like you're born with them, or at least you learn them very quickly. Thus, we call people naturally talented. Okay, acting, comedy, dancing, graphic design, magic, painting, playing an
What is
instrument,
magic as a natural talent? Who can
pottery,
do?
singing, woodwork,
I'm questioning magic.
sporting talents, balance, coordination, jumping, rhythm,
Jumping. There you go. Jumping. That's a physical. Yes.
running, skating,
Running. Yes. That's what I'm talking about. He has all that.
skating,
Well, not skating. I don't think he can skate.
swimming,
But
throwing, brainstorming.
Is brainstorming a physical talent?
It's not. I guess this is just a list of all talents.
But anyway, my point is running.
Multilingualism.
Were you born with the ability to speak 3 languages? Do you know anybody that was?
No, I guess they're just saying that's a talent because, like, if you're a kid and you're around 2 languages, you just.
You mentioned 3 of them: hand-eye coordination, jumping, and running. Okay, so this kid has those things, but what he doesn't have is the skill set yet to match those talents. That's something you acquire.
Who are we talking about?
Your boy there, what's his name? The big man. He catches the ball. What's his name?
Mitchell Robinson.
Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah, see, I don't think he has those things. That's my point.
I think he does, because first of all, he wouldn't have got that far if he didn't.
They're not good. Well,
They're not developed.
They're not developed.
That's
at
what
all.
I'm saying. Yeah, that's why Hakeem Olajuwon. Look, Kobe Bryant's the first guy he's worked with. Okay, there are other guys that played in the post that credit Hakeem Olajuwon a lot with improving their post game, and there are other big men in the league like that do this now. They're consultants, they call them. Patrick Ewing did it for a while, actually. So the point is that this kid, who is he 6'10"? How big is he?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So he's got the prototypical size to go on the block and the athleticism to, if he develops those, to be able to really do something with it. If I were him, okay, that's what I would spend my offseason doing, because that's going to give you a role in this offense. Which, do they have a post player? Do the Knicks actually have a post player? A guy that just goes down there and...
No.
That's what I'm saying. That's a role he could fill. They don't have one right now.
That's what I was saying. They need a big man that can actually contribute on the offensive end.
Yeah, but from the post.
I
Do
can't
you know what that would do for
So
Brunson?
every time I type in physical talents, it changes to skills.
Well, you got that definition, which reeled off all that stuff. From
What
the
are
motor,
7 talents?
from the running, the jumping, the hand-eye coordination, the balance, those things. You had a list there.
I know. I think there were skills.
The point, all right. You're unbelievable. He's got this kid is a big athlete he's got
is.
talent.
He is.
But the skill set's not there yet. And
You're
I'm
right.
saying
He just needs to develop.
he needs to develop it. He's young too, right? How old is he?
Yeah.
So he's got time.
I mean, they drafted him in the 2nd round.
He's got time. And he contributed this year in the second round. How many second-round picks contribute in the playoffs? He did. That means the Knicks scouting team did a good job. They found a kid that can contribute. All right, so how do you make him better?
Please.
That's what I'm saying. You get him a
And
post
I like
camp.
Hartenstein. I think they picked him up on a 1-year deal.
And he's pretty solid.
He's a good backup center.
He is.
See, and that's the thing. If Mitchell Robinson was a scorer, and then you brought in Hartenstein to, relieve him and get rebounds,
Yeah.
that'd be nice.
But if that, imagine.
I don't know that you can turn Mitchell into that. I don't know.
The realistic goal, and the great players, you always see them do this because they're not afraid to step outside their comfort zone. That's why they evolve. Is
Have you
to
seen
add.
him shoot 3 free throws?
I imagine it's bad.
You haven't seen it?
Is that bad?
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
He hit 2 tonight.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. If I were him, and I'm
There's no shooting
assuming
talent.
that Tibbs knows this because he's a smart guy, and he's saying, "Look, you've contributed. You're in this. You had a role here now.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to expand it or not? Because we don't have a guy who's going to go down that block and turn around and kill somebody one-on-one. You are this offseason, that and foul shooting. Those are 2 things I want you to work on all offseason. And because that'll expand your role next year. And by the way, if he does that, they're going to be a better team right there next year. Okay? So, and a kid with that's reasonable.
That'll be awesome.
That's a reasonable expectation because if he wants to have a career and not a job, that's how you do it. Because those guys are hard to find. Okay? And if you got one, you're going to pay to keep him because he's an asset. So,
ESPN's getting on my damn nerves.
they're unbelievable. By the way, they are openly Philadelphia. Have you noticed this? It's just, they're practically rooting for Philadelphia.
They
Like
were openly
they-
Miami.
do you know what they did this
Did you hear
morning?
JJ Redick on the broadcast?
Yeah, he was terrible.
Him and Richard Jefferson, like
I hate Richard
dude.
Jefferson.
When Jalen Brunson got elbowed, smashed right in the face, neither one of them would just say that's a flagrant foul.
I know they fought it. I'm
They
like,
were sitting there going, well, what they're looking at here is,
the elbow coming across the jaw.
they're sitting there going, they're checking to see if that's unnecessary, if it's excessive. Like, how about you just go, yeah, that's a flagrant.
An elbow across the jaw, Tom,
Like,
is the
boom.
definition of excessive.
Dude, Gabe Vincent tried to act like he was bringing his arm through
I know of no drill.
and went, bah!
I know of no drill, and this is 45 years of basketball talking.
Embarrassing.
I know of no drill that involves an elbow to the jaw as part of the drill. It's not in there, okay? So excessive is the easy answer. It's not like they're looking for it. No, did he hit it? That's excessive. That's a flagrant one.
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt, it's a flagrant one.
Holy shit. Guess who's no-showing right now? Don't look. Just guess. Guess who's no-showing in Game 6, Lakers-Warriors in L.A.?
I'm hoping it's the Lakers.
Who do you think, though?
Golden State. Oh, Klay Thompson.
It's 81-63 Lakers.
It's over.
3 minutes left in the third.
It's over. Yeah, they had it. The LA had
No
it.
show.
Klay Thompson has what?
Let's see.
Because he didn't show up in the last 2 games either. Klay Thompson's been an utter disappointment.
Box score. I mean, nobody's got to be having a good game, right?
Well, last time I looked, Steph had 12.
Steph has 26.
Yeah, he shows up. Steph shows up.
Steph has 26.
Where's Klay Thompson?
Now, Steph is only 2 from 9 from the 3. That's rough.
That's why if he can do that, that's why I get nervous with the Celtics.
He's 9 for 21
Yeah.
field goals. Klay Thompson, 8 points.
There you have it, boys
2
and
for
girls.
10 from 3, 3 for 15 from the floor.
Klay Thompson. What a freaking, oh my God, the biggest clunker of the postseason.
DiVincenzo's got more than Klay Thompson.
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
He's got 13.
That's embarrassing, Klay Thompson. You got to be ashamed of yourself. That's embarrassing, DiVincenzo.
Nobody's shooting the 3 well. The only person shooting the 3 well is DiVincenzo, 3 for 5.
And everybody else is 2 for 10.
Wiggins 0 for 3.
That means that,
Draymond shot 3 threes. That's just bad.
how many points does Draymond have? Mr. Single
9.
Triple. Oh, he's got 9. He might crack 10.
8 rebounds.
Yeah. So how many assists?
3.
Mr. Single Triple.
Personal fouls.
Triple
4.
single, whatever you triple single.
Quadruple single.
Quadruple single.
Now let's look at the Lakers.
Oh, I love it.
LeBron James, 9 of 13 from the field. 2 of 3 from three-point. Very efficient.
Efficient.
Game. 25 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists.
Yeah, someone showed up.
That's a nice game.
That's a defining game.
Anthony Davis, look at this.
Huh?
5 for 9 from the field, so he's not shooting a lot, but 15 points, 17 boards, and 3 assists.
Any blocks? Probably not because Golden State's jacking up threes
He's
like
got
every-
1 block.
One
LeBron's
block.
got 1 block.
Yeah.
LeBron only has 2 turnovers.
That's good. 7-2.
bad.
2-7.
D'Angelo Russell, 15 points. Austin Reeves, 18.
Tell you what, those two guys have been
Damn.
serious additions.
When they score,
Rob Pelinka should get GM of the year for that move at the trade deadline. He really should.
did
I'll tell you what, LA
Rename-
Denver is going to be a great series.
you think so? It
Yeah,
feels
Rob
like Denver's better than them.
They are, but nobody had LA get in the conference finals 2 months ago. Nobody did.
No, you're right.
Rob Pelinka, by the way, with limited money, he didn't have money to spend here. Went and added those two, and he had 3 guys. Who's the other guy? Huchimama off the bench there. Huchimama.
Oh, Hachimura.
Huchimama. Yeah, he added.
And he's got
3.
0 points tonight.
That's all right though. The other 2 though are.
And this guy, who's it? Lenny Walker? Is that his name?
Lonnie Walker, dude, he's the one who saved him in the last
He's got
game.
13 tonight.
Dude, he had 15 in the game when they were 3-1. I'm telling you, Rob Pelinka quietly is the GM of the year. If he doesn't get credit for this,
He did a complete renovation.
literally at the trade deadline, he did
In a
it.
night.
In one fucking night with limited cash
That's
flow.
insane.
Rob Pelinka, they're in the conference finals. Nobody had LA in the conference finals in March. Nobody. Most people were talking where they're going to get in the play-in. They're going to make the play-in. That's what they were talking about 2 months ago. Rob Pelinka literally flipped this roster in one night to his point.
Draymond's got 4 turnovers tonight. No, I'm sorry, 2.
Rob Pelinka, GM of the year. And that's coming from a Celtic fan. That's how good Rob Pelinka's been. I am
there
throwing...
was moments in this year where it was like, what, LA's done.
Because Russell Westbrook didn't fit. Look how well
Remember
Russell Westbrook...
when LeBron got hurt?
Yeah.
And it was like, what are they going to do? And then just start shipping pieces out. It was Patrick Beverly,
yeah.
Russell Westbrook.
Russell Westbrook.
Who else did they get rid of?
Those 2
I think
guys
there
were
was
in
another
that.
guy, right? One more?
I don't remember. Might have been.
But you're right. You're
but
right.
What Rob Pelinka did at the trade deadline is historic. Okay, I haven't seen too many teams do this at the trade deadline. You might have had 1 player, not 3 or 4. No way. No way. And by the way, they played defense. They were a terrible defensive team before the trade. Now they're one of the better defensive teams in the whole league. I'm gonna enjoy watching Anthony Davis go up against Jokic. That's gonna be a matchup.
I
Michael
hope
Porter
Anthony
Jr.
Davis
against-
stays healthy.
I think he will because they're close. I think a lot of this is, well, are we in this thing or not?
Really?
Yeah. I'll bet you he plays that whole series.
But Jokic is annoying as shit.
I tell you, Jokic is amazing though.
I still
You know
have to
Stephen
say,
A. Smith calls him a tub of goo.
I know you think I'm a bitch for it, but I really think he should have been suspended I know you think that's ridiculous, but
I'm not the only one who thinks it's ridiculous.
I know. I heard. I didn't hear anybody saying what I said.
No, you're on an island of one.
But I really think like
it's you and
the
Wilson.
way he ran into the stands. Now maybe he felt like this is the owner, because I don't think the owner's intent was let me be a dick. That guy fell right into the person's lap next to him, and the ball fell into his hands, and he was actually looking at that guy when Jokic ran in and grabbed the ball.
Yeah.
And then
He wouldn't let him get it.
And then he held it, but by the time it went up, it was like he was pulling it. He stood up, Jokic went boop. If that's
I'm in.
Well, no, I mean it's not like it wasn't like
He acted
gave
like
Vincent elbow.
He acted like Mr. T hit him. Like in Rocky 3.
Tried to sell it. And at the same time,
He acted like Ivan Drago hit him.
well, a guy bigger than Ivan Drago hit him.
Oh my god.
The guy's bigger than Drago.
Yeah, but Ivan.
What is he, 7'3",
No,
280?
he's 7'1". He's
7'1".
around 280 though. He's around 280.
I mean, he gave him a little.
Big.
He gave him enough to sit him down.
Tap.
Because my thing is, if you're standing up in front of a chair and somebody just, pushes you with enough force, you're gonna sit. My thing is, I do think he should have been suspended, but
I'm not.
let's not get caught up on that. I know you think it's silly.
I'm not. The world thinks it's silly,
Dude, I remember when the Knicks were playing the
because
Heat.
at the end of the day, if you suspend Jokic for that, who has no track record, by the way, of ever doing anything like this. See, the Draymond Green thing had a pass to it. I get him. But
Well,
this
I didn't try
guy.
to compare it to Draymond Green because it's
Well,
not
no, but
like
the reason Draymond got
It was-
suspended was
it was
because
in
of
the stands.
I'm saying, but the reason Draymond got that suspension was because of his past history.
yeah.
This guy doesn't have a history,
But here's
you're
my
not
thing,
gonna
though.
you're not gonna suspend one of the top 4 players in the league in a playoff series.
Oh, really?
Where you could, unless if he punched the guy.
No.
If he had punched the guy, they would have suspended him.
How about this bullshit? And I don't know if this is still a rule or not.
What?
Knicks were playing the Heat in the playoffs. I think it was the semifinals, but I can't remember.
When Ewing was there?
When Ewing was there.
Yeah.
And P.J. Brown wraps his arm around, I can't remember who the hell it was, wraps his arm around him, takes him down, right? Ewing's on the bench, and there's a big scrum underneath the hoop. I mean, they're on top of each other. And this is on the opposite side of the Knicks bench. Ewing takes 4 steps off the bench, gone next game.
Because that is a rule.
Because you're not allowed to come off the bench.
That is a rule, though. I don't agree with the rule, for the record.
But
I don't
you're
agree with
not
the
allowed
rule.
to put your hands on somebody in the stands.
He did. He didn't grab him.
No,
Pop. And he was trying to get the ball, and the guy went like that.
That is putting your hands on somebody. Elbow. It's a figure of speech, asshole.
Whole ass. He's not getting suspended for that, and he shouldn't have.
Ewing shouldn't have got suspended for taking 2 steps off the bench.
The rule, as the rule reads, Ewing was wrong. As the rule reads in this case, it is up to the league commissioner. So he looks at the tape and goes, "All right, did he really pop him? Is the owner trying to sell this?" So that means the owner had intent. He's trying to get this. And by the way, he got a technical foul out of it.
Yeah,
by the way, the owner knew what he was doing. But see, here's the problem.
posted-
Here's the part he's not talking about. The owner knew what he was doing. Okay, and the owner got
that's
it.
true.
Yes, he did. He got a technical out of it. And Devin Booker was the first one back. Hey, our owner got a tee out of it.
I think it
That's
happened
great
too
stuff.
quick to say like the owner.
I don't know. The way he flailed,
He got pushed.
dude, he sold it.
If you see Bam Adebayo get
sold it.
blown on, the
flew out, he
motherfucker
flopped.
throws his hands up.
The NBA is so bad at flopping, the owners even know how to do it.
That's true.
They do. That's how bad it is.
I swear
That's
to
how
God.
bad it's gotten. And that's why he should get
I
suspended.
hate the way the Knicks Heat series was officiated.
It was,
it was officiated like Miami's this tough team and they're allowed to be tough. The Knicks, the minute they do anything, it's a fucking foul.
because they don't have the reputation.
Right,
of
they don't have the
physical team.
reputation of playing tough defense. All day long, they were They were guarding Brunson full court, reaching on him, making contact, not hard contact.
Yeah, but enough to where.
If a Knick player had done that in the open
blow the
court,
whistle, yeah.
they would fucking blow the whistle.
But this is why home court matters in the NBA, because when you're home, you tend to get those calls. And now, should you?
It's terrible.
It is. This is why the NBA.
So weird.
I have said between this and the flopping, the NBA is one step below the WWE. I've been saying this for decades because since the flopping thing got out of hand and this crap, to your point, this has been going on since back before Bird and Magic. If you're at home, you get these calls. It's a star league. It's always been a star-driven league, and the stars get these. Whether it's right or wrong, it doesn't matter. Okay, that's the way the game's played. You have to adjust to it. Now, you hear the guys that play the game, and they played the game. They have a right. Like, you got to adjust to that because that's how it's going to be. Is it right? No.
But it's also like...
But it's accepted. That's what drives me crazy.
Right. It is accepted.
And it shouldn't
And
be.
that's the thing. Like, Miami has several guys that are known for this type of shit.
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler, Kyle Lowry, Kevin Love.
Kyle Lowry's the worst one.
He is. Everything he... Like,
I can't
he'll
stand
drive
him.
to the hole, right, and throw his shoulder as he's going up. He'll throw his shoulder.
He is literally just coming down the court thinking of ways to flop or set somebody up. I really believe he's thinking.
You know what I saw him do?
As he's coming down the
dribbling
court.
with his left hand, grab somebody's arm and spin.
And make it pull like he
hooks, and then he
flails,
lets his arm go.
And then he flails.
And it looks like the guy's pulling his arm.
He did that against
multiple times.
He did that against the Celtics last year.
I'm like,
He did that again. No, he did that against the Celtics
Watch
last year
this
too.
shit,
Yep.
like-
and he got away with it. He got away with it then too.
and
It's terrible.
that's my thing is after every game,
And the thing is, they show the replay, and the damn announcers don't even acknowledge it.
Right.
I'm
go,
like,
"Oh, Josh Hart had his arm
You
there."
played the game. Half these guys are ex-pros. You know, if that was you, you'd be blowing up like crazy going that. And he's outsmarted him. He outsmarted him.
What it
No.
seemed like to me is they were both walking on eggshells because they love Jimmy Butler. That's what it felt like. Like J.J. Redick didn't want to say anything bad about Miami because, God forbid, Jimmy Butler's mad at him. Now, I could be completely off on that, and I'm just a biased Knicks fan, so I probably am.
No,
But
because it happened last year against the Celtics.
when
So we both I saw this play happen against the Celtics last year. Where he hooked the arm, like you're talking about, and then I'm telling you, he did it. It was game 4 or 5. He did it, and they were in Miami. What game was that? I forget. I think it was game 5 because game 7 was in Miami. It was game 5, and he did the same freaking shit, and he got away with it.
Yeah.
And when they show you how the replay, they slow it down. You can really see it. On the
you
replay.
see where it goes.
And you're
like
just
that.
like, how on earth is anybody not? And then the announcers are going, yeah, outsmarted him again. He drew that foul. No. Is that what you're calling that? He drew the foul. Is what they said. He drew the foul. No, he hooked his arm. And basically, he manipulated the call.
Then spun the other way.
Make it look
and
like.
flailed his arm.
It was terrible.
And that's my thing is like, after every game, the officiating crew should watch it, and before, like.
The next game is you're not. By the way, we're going to be looking for that. You're not going to get away with that.
But here's the thing: they switch the crews every game.
Yeah. Well, the crew. Well, first of all, if that's your job, you're probably watching the game before you anyway.
Well, my point is this: so after
you
the
should
game,
know
that crew should watch it, and then the incoming crew should watch the game before to say, "Let's look at how this is being played."
Yeah.
And
true.
If you're not looking for shit like that from Kyle Lowry, you're not doing your goddamn job.
He did it in Toronto.
That's all he does.
He did it in Toronto.
He's a master of it.
Yeah, he gets away with it, and they make it sound like it's a skill.
That's
how the announcers talk about it. It's like, no, he's
crafty.
He reminds me of the Detroit Pistons back in the 90s. Some of the guys that would pull shit like that was something Bill Laimbeer would have done, and got away with it.
You know how many times they stepped under Brunson's foot to try to get him to twist
I
his
did
ankle?
see two of those.
There was one that was blatant.
I saw two of them. I don't know if it's the same ones you saw, but I saw
Caleb
two.
Martin did it where he closed him out.
Yeah.
And he was standing there, and once he went up in the air, he stuck his foot right under him.
Yeah.
And that one got called the flagrant.
That's dangerous.
That
one they did call that one.
They called
that one.
They
called that one.
But they were doing it a lot.
The two that I saw, they didn't. There was no call.
Yeah.
And they were dangerous. And I'm like, you know what? If you put that rule in, you got to call it.
And Brunson was running around on a sprained ankle. Yeah. They knew it.
No, Jalen Brunson gets the Purple Heart for me for this, and he was I got news to you. He's underpaid. Yeah. He's underpaid, which really makes Mark Cuban look like an idiot.
As much as he had to shoulder.
Yeah. What he did, I'll tell you right now, what he did in that environment against that team, I got news to you. And they've got a home run hitter on the other side, and Butler. I'm telling you right now, that was impressive. That was impressive. It was one of the best performances of the postseason. It's going to get lost in the shuffle because they lost and because of the turnover at the end. But you take that turnover out of it, that was one of the best performances in this entire postseason. I'm telling you, it was top 5. It was top 5. I will say that. That's how good he was.
Tonight, 41.
Yeah. He was top 5 player performances.
Game 5.
Yeah, he was 38. But this was better than that.
Unbelievable.
Oh, this was better than that. Well, that as good as that was.
No, it wasn't because they lost.
The other guys played better the other night. He was basically alone on the offensive end tonight. Wouldn't you agree with that?
Yeah.
He was. The next guy, I think, had 15. It was 41. That's too big a disparity. 41 and the next guy has 15. He did the whole fight. He was on his...
RJ Barrett didn't have more than that?
I don't know. He might have at the end. I think he had 13 or 14. What's his name had 15. Randall had 15. Maybe he had 17. That's still a ridiculous disparity. Hold on.
Yeah, you're right.
Hold on. Let me see. If he had 17, if you didn't have the guy in the 20s, which they didn't.
RJ Barrett had 11.
That's even worse.
Ugh. Jeez, I thought he had a better game. He's 1 for 10 from the field.
I'm telling you, Jalen Brunson was alone on the offensive side of the floor tonight. He was literally alone, and he kept them in that.
See, this is why I'm mad. Because it's like 1 for 10. We lost by 4 points.
Yeah. If anybody else had shown up on offense.
Quentin Grimes, 3 points.
Yeah. And 2 air balls.
Mitchell Robinson.
You guys shot 38% from the field. It's 27 for 71.
That's one.
And
of
by
our
the way,
shooting
Brunson had over half your field goals.
That's one of the better shooting nights for them this series.
I'm saying he had over half their field goals though. That's ridiculous. That's too much. That's too much to ask anyone. I don't care if it's Michael Jordan. That's why Jordan couldn't win, because he would do that shit. I mean, so the worst thing is actually Jordan had another 20-point score and he wouldn't give him the ball.
Bam Adebayo 23 killed them.
Yeah, that's 2 back-to-back games he played well. He sucked the whole playoffs. The last 2 games he's been awesome.
Give up 14 to Strauss.
But anyway, look, New York, I think you had a good season. I know you're mad right now, the fan base, but I think it was a successful one, and I think you're going to be better next year. I think you're heading in the right direction. You got to add pieces. Add to this core. Add to this group. Think of what they don't have. Shooting, obviously. Get a couple of shooters. Get another big man with a post game, or develop that kid. These are the realistic things that can happen in off season here. And they're going to be a top 4 seed next year if they do it. I'm telling you that right now, because they're not going anywhere. They've got the coach. They got a guy you can build around. They've actually got 2 if Randall takes his head out of his ass. But again, at the trade deadline, if he's regressing, look and see across the country there what those Trailblazers are doing, because they're at that point where that kid's getting title hungry and he's not going to win one in Portland. He is not going to win one in Portland. So anyway, Celtics game 7. I'll tell you what, the 2 greatest words in sports, game 7.
Celtics are going to lose.
Game 7. No, I think they're going to win.
If you're basing this on any logic at all,
no,
you realize that
I can't. Logic's out the window.
That's ridiculous.
Logic, this series would have been over. There's no logic.
There's no way you can.
I'm going off a gut.
There's
feeling
no way
here.
you can look at how this series.
I'm thinking. Here's
say they're going to win.
Here's my thing.
You're an idiot.
The only reason I'm.
You're an idiot for saying it, and you know it.
The only reason
they're going to lose because 90% mental.
It is.
And they're going to lose.
It is, and that's why they will lose if they lose. The reason I think they're going to win is law of averages. They can't possibly shit themselves 3 times in a row at home. Or can they?
Basically,
no. You said talent. You said talent.
Exactly.
I'm saying they're going to mentally actually show up this time.
Right.
Which is not what they normally do.
I wasn't saying they were going to not show up mentally and because of their talent.
You better not be saying that.
I never was. But I was literally on that side of the argument 20 minutes ago, and I was an idiot for it.
You were saying they're going to win because they're more talented. That's what you said. That's not why they're going to win. Because if that was true, the series would be over already.
That was one of the reasons I gave. Okay.
No, it was the main reason.
It's the first one.
That's right. I think that's where we disagree. If they win Sunday, it's going to be because actually up here they play the game the right way for a change.
Well, it's kind of like.
And if they don't, they'll lose, regardless of their talent.
Duh.
And they're far superior. Duh. They're far superior to this team talent-wise. That tells you talent doesn't matter. If you don't play the game right, you lose. Matters. You lose.
Because if they make the right decisions, they are superior to the other team.
Miami wasn't superior, and they won because they made the right decisions. Talent is not the determining factor in this.
No,
it's up here.
The Knicks didn't show up.
The Knicks were the more talented team. Miami was the better team up here. They played. That's what I'm talking about. So the less physical won the game. The Celtics won't win because they're the more talented team. If that were true, it would have been over.
It's because of the combo.
It's because they could be less talented than Philly and beat them if they played the game the right way.
But my point is they're more talented.
And it doesn't. And yet here we are. because they don't play talented, because they don't play
the fact that I believe they're going to play well, I think they're going to win.
They were more talented and lost 3 times already.
I understand.
So that's not that.
But like you said,
it's not going to be the determining factor.
I don't think that's going to happen 4 times.
They didn't lose because of their talent. They lost because they didn't play well.
Right. They didn't combine it.
And if they don't play well, mentally they're going to lose regardless of their talent again. They'll lose again.
I know. I'm saying I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to show up and beat them.
Why?
I've already said it.
What's the number one reason why they're going to beat them? Say it.
Their talent.
That's where you're wrong. They will not beat them because of their talent. They'll beat them because they play the game better.
All right. I think I finally see what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying.
I think I finally see what you're saying.
If that were true, they'd have swept them already.
My point is that I think as long as they make the right decisions, they win because they are superior, skilled, talent, all that.
I'm saying to you, if they made the right decisions, they wouldn't even have to be superior talent.
But they are.
Still win. I know, but I'm saying Miami proved that. They were not as talented as them, but they beat them because they were better. Right. They're smarter. That's what I'm saying. But you don't have to be more talented to win. You have to be smarter. That's the most important.
But my thing is this. If you're not more talented and you make the right decisions and the other team makes the right decisions, then you might not win. You know what I'm saying?
But that means they're as good up there, too.
If both teams are making the right decisions.
I don't think Philly's as good up there. Do you?
As good up where?
Mentally, in terms of maybe Philly's better. I don't know. But in terms of the boneheaded plays, Philly doesn't make as many boneheaded plays as Boston does. Boston makes whoppers. They do stupid shit. They missed 11 that game 5. They missed 11 threes in a row. And what did they do on the next possession? They came down and hoisted a 12-1. They missed 11, the Celtics. In that game, they got blown out. They missed 11 threes in a row. And even the announcers were going, why aren't they going the back? And they hoisted a 12-3.
But all I'm saying
Philly's not that dumb.
So if the Knicks had made the right decisions all series,
the
Knicks would have won.
They would have won. But not because of their talent, because they would have played better.
No, but...
Yeah.
It's kind of like we're sparsing here, because my thing is you're saying the Knicks are more talented. So if both teams are making the same good decisions, then it's the talent that's causing the one team to win. You know what I'm saying?
If they're of equal talent, and then the deciding factor is the mental, is what you're saying. So if it's the other way around, where the talent's not...
Right, if they were equal talent, then the mental is the number one thing. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Whereas if we're both making smart decisions, Celtics are winning because their talent
I'm
is high.
saying, but the thing is, in these two situations, there's a more talented team. They're not equal. One is more talented than the other. In both, the Knicks were more talented than the Heat. They lost. The Celtics are way more talented than Philly, and they're in the seventh game. They could lose on Sunday. So the point is that the decision making has been the determining factor in the series, not the talent level. That's what I'm saying. And the reason the Miami won in 6 is because they were better in terms of playing the game than the Knicks were. That's what I'm saying to you. If the Knicks played the game the right way, it wouldn't have mattered how they were talented. They'd have beat them. But they made the Knicks
Because of their talent, right?
No, because they executed. Because honestly, if you look at the mistakes they made, talent had nothing to do with it. It was mental. It was all mental. To your point about the rotation on the defense, the guy not getting it, that's not talent. He's in the wrong spot. He doesn't know where to be. That's the problem.
But I guess all I'm saying is, like, if we're both making the right decisions and I'm more talented, then I'm going to win. You know?
I don't know about that. I honestly don't know about that.
But why not?
I'll tell you why. Because I saw this actually in 2 finals. One was Boston, LA, 85, where they actually were even. 84, the Lakers were
what?
Talent-wise. 85, the Celtics and Lakers were even. 84, the Lakers were more talented.
So who made the better decisions?
The Lakers did, and they won. They were even talent, and they won. Yeah, and then in '86,
so then if
Boston was far superior, and the Lakers didn't even get there.
So that's my point. If I'm better than you talent-wise, right, and we're both making the right decisions, I'm better. I'm winning.
I don't know that. Like I said, I don't know that if you're the more talented team and you both make the right decisions,
you should win.
No,
because the talent is going to just.
Now, when I say decisions, this could again, and every pro says this, and they're right about it, but no one ever thinks about it. At the end of the day, it's a make or miss league. You could make every decision, and the ball just might not go in that night.
Sure.
You could have great shots,
but that would be fluky.
No, that happens a lot. Yeah, but teams that do the right thing and they just miss the shot at the end of the play. That happens all the time. But I mean,
but then you don't go. But then you don't go. Oh, they were mentally done. You know.
They just the ball didn't go in that night. You could say one thing could cost you. You could make all the right decisions. At the end of the day, if you run the play right and the guy blows the layup,
I just think if I'm taking percentages and I'm more talented, okay, and you make all the right decisions and I make all the right decisions. I'm thinking the probability are the more talented team wins in that.
Okay, but that's not the case here. Because the Celtics aren't making the right decisions, and they're the more talented team, and yet we're still here.
Yeah, no, that is true.
That's what I'm saying.
That is true.
And I'm not saying you're wrong with that.
But
I'm
again,
saying in this situation,
4 times in one series, they can't have that happen, right?
I don't know. I've seen it happen in other sports. That's a problem. I've actually seen this happen, and so have you, by the way. It's happened. I'm not saying we've actually seen this happen.
Well, you just think, but this is a team that got to the finals last year. Granted, it was against some injured teams.
2 injured teams, who, if they were healthy, they wouldn't have gotten away with this last year. They would not have gotten away with it. This year, the difference is, okay, they've learned that. Well, I shouldn't say they've learned because they're still doing some of the same bonus stuff. Yeah. But they know they know what it is. Mm-hmm. So they were able, like in Game 6, like they didn't make those mistakes. But the problem is, Game 5 they did. Yeah. Like why? This is the thing. Like they're schizophrenic. I can't. Like they're the one. I can't.
They're gonna win.
I've never. I hope you're right.
They're gonna win.
I think they're going to win, but I don't know. I'm not guaranteeing victory.
I just can't deal with Philly. All right.
You can't deal with Joel. Because Joel's the worst winner in the world. He gloats like a motherfucker. He gloats like a 10-year-old boy who got the last ice cream on the shelf.
You.
No, I'm not as bad. No, honestly, because I hate New York, and I should be rubbing your nose in it right now, but I'm not.
Oh, why would you do that?
Because I hate New York.
Yeah, but I don't do that to you.
I wouldn't do it even. If Joel was here and if Philly loses, I'm not going to rub Joel's nose.
Nah.
I won't. Because that's not who I won't do that.
That's not.
But I guarantee you, if Philly wins, Joel would be the first one to rub it in my face. Yeah, he would. And you know because he's done it to you.
No, he wouldn't.
He's done it to you.
I don't think he'd do that.
He did it to you with the Eagles and the Giants. Yeah, he did. He busted your chops big time over that.
I don't remember that.
You thought they were going to win because they lost. He railed you for that.
Well, that was before the game.
No, it was after it happened. He railed you for that. He did.
I thought it was before the game he was talking shit.
No, you thought he brought it up. And then we wrote him about the Super Bowl because the defense didn't show up. And his boy...
We didn't rub anything in his face when they lost.
No, we didn't rub it in his face. But when he tried to sit there and say that that what's his name? Because Jalen Hurts, we talked about the turnover, the one turnover Hurts had, and I'm like,
he was talking
that's
about
not
the penalty.
Yeah, I'm like, that's not what cost you the game. Your damn
You didn't
defense
sack
didn't do a
him.
damn thing.
Yeah.
You didn't even touch Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
It's like you forgot he was out there. It was awful. That
Guy
defense.
had a high ankle sprain 3
Yeah,
weeks ago.
you played against a team 2 weeks prior who, although they didn't have the quarterback, they had all the weapons that Kansas City didn't have. They had like Kittle's the tight end,
but
and they shut them all down. They knocked out Purdy 4 plays into the fucking game. They didn't get near Mahomes.
Yeah.
They didn't even breathe on him. I mean, they had 2 weeks to prepare for him, and they didn't even touch him. I'm like, but Hurts outplayed Mahomes. Look at the numbers. He outplayed him.
Hurts was good except for that scoop and score 6.
That was the
he just
one
gave.
mistake he made in the whole
was a
game.
big one.
The defense made 35 fucking
That
mistakes.
was a big mistake, though.
Yeah, but the defense never did anything right.
Oh, without a doubt.
The defense they scored 5 long, and not quick ones,
They went
long
from
distance
a historic
drive.
defensive line to nobody.
They look like nobody. How do you have 70-plus sacks in the regular season, and then you look like the 26th ranked defense in the league because
by
of
the end of
Patrick
the playoffs,
Mahomes?
they had 80, didn't they?
They did. But the thing is, they made Patrick Mahomes. I'm like, are you kidding me? They
made that offensive line look real good.
Yeah, and the Chiefs they didn't do that they weren't that good all season. But yet suddenly they look like the freaking Dallas Cowboy line of the 90s.
Didn't was it Orlando?
Jacksonville damn near beat them.
Orlando Brown. Who's the lineman that got a big contract off of that?
I think it was Orlando. Was it Orlando Brown?
I think so.
I think it was. Anyway, segment
How the hell did
1
we get there?
went 2 hours.
Oh, God.
We got to go.
I gotta wake up early as fuck.
By the way, tomorrow, he's going up. By the way, the Commanders got sold. You saw that, right? Congratulations.
The deal's finalized.
The deal's finalized. He's gone. The guy gone. Snyder announced it. It's over. He gone. It's a happy day in the nation's capital. That loser's gone. And take good riddance to him. What a piece of trash he is. What a fucking unbelievable. That guy
he
can't.
ran that place.
That guy
What a
can't.
shithole.
I'll tell you right now. Talk about a pimple on the ass of humanity. That guy.
But here's the crazy part.
I
How can you
mean-
run an organization so bad and sell it for $6 billion?
Because of the market it's in. That's why.
No, but they're one of the richest franchises. Like,
He bought it. He made a huge profit off it. You know what he bought them for? Like
Wow,
less than
a bill,
less
right?
than a
Yeah.
billion. He sold them for $6 billion. He made a $5.5 billion profit.
but it's like
How often does that happen, boys and girls? And by the way, he was a piece of shit, and he got that.
that's what I'm saying. He
Like-
led a disgusting. The
You know-
culture was bad.
You know that phrase, only in America? Only in America could really. What other country could someone like that pull this off?
Oh, this.
Only in America could this happen.
There's scumbags all over that are pulling.
Not $5.5 billion.
Oh, okay.
When
Look
you're
at some of the dictators.
they're running the country. I'm talking about just an owner, not a politician or a president. No,
Right, no.
Donald Trump is still on the damn streets. For Christ's sake, he's sedition. There's blood on his hands. He's not behind bars. That's America.
You don't think there's other countries with that kind of bullshit?
I know, but I'm saying that I get that happens here too. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Politicians.
hell yeah.
But just a rich guy who's doing something that's supposed to be on the up and up the right way, and he's embarrassing the league, and he does everything wrong. He gets a $5.5 billion profit, and the whole world sees it. And he still gets it.
That's global.
That's global. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that happens. Everywhere.
That does not happen everywhere.
The rich always win.
Not at a $5.5 billion clip.
Yeah, they do.
That's not winning. That's abuse.
Well, yeah.
That's abuse.
I mean,
This guy could be
parse
behind.
words,
This
man.
he was charged, by the way, with sexual abuse, assault. Him. He was. I mean,
If you think the America is the only place where
I'm not saying it's the
people,
only place.
inflicting
I'm saying
sexual
the
abuse
whole
are
world
rich.
knows it. And he's getting away with it. Like it's advertising on TV.
well,
Like
that's
it's
America.
blatantly like, yeah, well, he's gonna make $5.5 billion. Like, why is he getting the chair? Fucking crazy. Like,
Yeah, well,
I mean,
you know, the only crappy part about that is the Commanders have a chance to clean slate
yeah,
and become.
they're
a
gonna
good
get a new stadium.
organization.
They're gonna get a new stadium too. That
Probably
place is
are.
falling apart up there, from what I heard.
No, FedEx is not that old.
No, but they're saying it's not a good. There were guys who
Well,
used
it's
to
in a
work
weird
with.
location. It should
Yeah.
be. It should be in DC, but it's not.
Well, they're talking a new stadium, and the reason they couldn't get one was because of Schneider. But now that he's gone, they'll probably approve a new stadium within 2 years, which is what they want.
And the
so-
DC Defenders are in the XFL
I know,
Championship on
tomorrow
Saturday.
night.
Is it tomorrow or
Tomorrow
Saturday?
night, 8 o'clock tomorrow night.
Oh, tomorrow Saturday.
Yeah, 8 o'clock tomorrow night. So
Where's Game 7 in the Celtics?
Sunday. They still haven't announced the time for that yet. Do you believe that shit? What the fuck are they waiting for? There's nothing else going on Sunday. Like, there's literally, it's Mother's Day.
You think it'll be 3, or will they do a night game?
If there's no other... LA's winning, right? They won. That's over, right?
Did they win?
I think they did. They're up 19 with, like, how much time was left? There's 4... Wait. I think it's over.
Oh, jeez.
They're up 20 with this. It's over. All right,
over.
so that's not going to go 7.
Damn,
So,
Warriors no-showed.
The Celtics are the only Game 7 out there. I would, prime time, 8 o'clock Sunday night would probably make sense. Don't you think? That's prime time. Boston, Philly, Game 7. Yeah, I think prime time, 8 o'clock. They're probably figuring what network's going to pick it up.
I guess that time's going to be released right when when this game's over. Yep, I bet when this game's over, because they were probably waiting in case
this was 2 Game 7s on Sundays. Yeah, which
although actually, no.
Well, yeah, because LA would be the later game.
No.
Boston would go at 3:30, and they'd go at 7.
because if the Knicks won, they were going to play Monday.
That's the Knicks, though.
Right, but they're playing on the same night as the Lakers. So you would think, you know what I'm saying? Like,
they get 2 days.
I think they would have split them between 2 days.
Really?
So I wonder when they're.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's what it said. If the Knicks had won.
Yeah, because Boston's getting and Philly getting the extra day.
Did they get an extra day?
Yeah, because they played Thursday. They're playing Sunday.
Yeah.
So Friday, Saturday, get an extra day. So in any event, I would think, given there's not going to be another game on Sunday, and it's safe to 7:30, 8 o'clock would probably make in terms of prime time.
Yes, you're right.
I think they're just trying to figure out what network's going to pick it up, ESPN or ABC. Or does TNT do it? With Shaq and Barkley and those Ernie J.
Oh, God, I just hope it's not Reggie Miller. Jim Jackson. I really like Jim Jackson.
He is good.
He's
yeah,
really
I
good.
didn't. It's funny you said that because I was thinking that the other day. He's solid.
He's a good color commentator.
He doesn't go over the top, but he's good. He's to the point.
I never really feel like
he's not. Yeah, he's not like,
leaning one way or the
no.
other.
That's the. Oh my God.
I don't know.
I don't know about the Miami series. How it went with New York. I didn't watch I didn't see every single game, but I've watched every game of the Boston Phillies, and it's like Philly pom poms every fucking game.
Who are the announcers?
The different ones. It hasn't been the same one every time.
Well,
but it's all about what Philly has to do. And then at the end, if Boston does something, then you got to credit the Celtics. But that comes at the end. Up until that point, it's all about what Philly's doing and what Philly's not doing. And is Doc going to make this? It's like it's all Philly. And then this morning on Get Up, do you know who they put? Because Greeny's doing the NBA playoffs. The guy subbing in is a Philadelphia-based guy, and they put him on there because they thought Philly was going to win. And he had to sit there, and the look on his face was fucking priceless. He's like, they always do this. Like, wow, so much for impartiality there, pal. Huh? Who are you rooting for? It was fucking disgusting. It was absolutely disgusting. And Monica McNutt, another one, but she's another one, woo, waving the pom-pom. But she finally said, look, you know what? I'm not going to sit here and take away from what Boston
She's a Philly?
She seems like she's been rooting for him. But then she did say, now Monica McNutt said this. She's like, look, I'm not taking away. You can talk about what Philly, but Boston needs all the credit here because they went in there, their backs to the wall, they D'd them up, and they got it done. And they survived Jason Tatum a horrific 3.5 quarters before he finally woke up.
That was big.
That was big, but they kept it. Marcus Smart was the best player on the floor last night.
Celtics have the only bench that could do something like that.
They do. That's the thing. Any other team, if their top player does that, it's over. It's over.
Yep.
It's over. But not Boston. No. So... I assume that's going to be a 7 or 8 o'clock game on Sunday night, I would think. I'd be shocked if they did like a 3:30 slot.
So there are 2 potential start times.
Okay.
If a game 7 is necessary for the Lakers-Warriors,
would it be Monday or Sunday?
Boston and Philadelphia will tip off at 8 p.m. on Sunday.
God,
a Lakers Warriors game 7 would begin 3:30 p.m. Sunday. That doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't.
If the Lakers wrap up the series Friday night, game 7 between Celtics and Sixers will start at 3:30.
So 3:30 would have been the slot, and then LA would have been the second slot. Because they're only going up the coast, right?
No, they're saying LA would have been the first slot, and the Celtics would have been the prime time game if there was 2.
So LA, who's on the West Coast, would have gone at 3:30 our time. And 1 o'clock. So then what does that mean? Boston goes.
So that means Boston is going at 3:30 now. So if there had been 2 games.
Oh, I get why. Because you know why? Because on the West Coast, they're 7 o'clock here would be 4:30 there, so that'd be prime time.
Prime time for them.
For them and 7:30, which is good here.
Prime time
for us. So both, yeah. All right, that actually makes sense. Because LA.
Yeah, but the weird part is
LA
the Laker game would be at 1 p.m.
Yeah, because then you get 1 and 4:30 there, 3:30 and 7 here. That's yeah. In terms of that works. That actually makes sense. Okay.
So because the Lakers wrapped it up tonight,
yeah,
it's going to be a 3:30 game according to this article.
Dude, Klay Thompson, really? Go away, Klay Thompson. Just go away. You can't. I mean, it's over 122 to 101.
Oh, so the reason the Knicks would have played Monday is because the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't know.
Dude, Steph Curry, you ready for talk about
Eastern Conference Finals begin on Wednesday, Western on Tuesday.
Talk about holding the rope. Left holding the rope. Steph Curry, 32 points. No one else in the starting 5 hit 10. One guy, DiVincenzo, off the bench had 16. Yeah. He's the only guy that did anything.
Well, he was the only one that could hit threes.
They were 13 for 48. 27%. The Lakers, James, 30 points, 9 and 9. Yep. Davis, 17 and 20 rebounds. Reeves, 23. Russell, 19. And then Walker, 13. That's their 5. And he comes off the bench.
Dude, but he
it's good.
First time he scored was what, 2 games ago?
15 points in the fourth quarter alone.
And that's the first time all playoffs they've played him, it feels like. He's taken Hachimura's place.
Hachimama? Did Hachimama play? Right.
He got 0 points.
And he played 16 minutes, 3 rebounds. He was a -2. He only shot. No, he had 9 points.
Oh, he must have got him.
All right, so he had 9 points. I'm sorry. So
he
contributed. So those 2 guys off the bench. Yeah, he played 16. Walker played 14 minutes. So those 2 guys, they got 2 guys off the bench. So I mean, look at that's going to be a fun series. Denver and LA. That's going to be a fun series. There's going to be some good matchups.
Denver's good.
They are good. They're legit. And LA's healthy, and they added this to this. They've got guys that can defend. They got Michael.
I gotta take my home.
Yeah, this is over.
Can't believe
this is a record time.
This is why I'm like, I can't come do it.
Well, you had to vent.
We literally said 1 segment.
We did
2
3
hours and 11 minutes.
We did 3 segments.
We did 4 segments.
There might be some
a segment should be 30 minutes.
There might be some editing, boys and girls. Enjoy the weekend.
Yeah, just dump
We'll return Sunday night or Monday, whenever it is. Maybe Sunday after Game 7, because Monday you have to go to. You don't want to do it during the week, right? We can do early Sunday though. We can do 7:30 Sunday.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. So we recap a Game 7.
I don't know. After a Mother's Day brunch.
What?
With the.
That's brunch.
I know, but the mimosas may be flowing. Could be an early turn-in.
We'll see. We got to be back at some point. I might be here alone Sunday night.
Talking about the Celtics.
Well, it's Game 7.
If they lose, I'm going to let you be alone.
Oh, fine. I support you. But you, I see how it is now.
You don't want me here.
Tom's therapy session is 101.
You don't want me here if you lost. You just want to destroy them.
They'll just destroy themselves.
Right, you wouldn't want me here if they lost.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
All right. I would. I might need some. Is it possible I might need some moral support, boys and girls? What the hell? I get emotional. I can be I could be. Anyway, until then, don't be Aaron Rodgers. Stay loose. See you possibly Sunday night. Well, I'll see you Sunday definitely. Hopefully Tom's with us, and hopefully it's with smiling. And then we can fight about it was talent. No, it was mental. No, it was talent.
Even though the Mets won tonight. Wow.
Red Sox came back to earth. Leave it alone.
No, they didn't.
They lost 8-6.
Okay.
The closer, the worst team in the NL. They just beat the best team in the NL. They lost at home to the worst team in the NL.
Who?
They beat the St. Louis. 8-6. They're the worst record in the NL. And they were up 6-5 in the
closer. You want to hear about the Mets' most recent times?
We're going off the air right now. We're not doing this.
Lost 2 out of 3 to the Reds. Lost 2 out of 3 to the Rockies.
I don't doubt
Lost 2 out of 3 to the Nationals.
You done?
No, we can keep going.
No, we're not.
They're 5-14 in their last 19.
You have a good
pathetic.
You have a good weekend. We'll talk.
But they
about.
won
You know
tonight.
what? If the Mets sweep, we'll talk about the Mets on Sunday too, because he'll probably want to talk about.
There
that.
is no chance the Mets sweep. 4 games.
It's
in
4?
Washington.
Is it
no
4?
chance. Mm-hmm.
Are they playing Monday too?
Friday to Monday. Weird
That's
one.
Odd one. That's a weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Anyway, stay loose, boys and girls. We will see you on the other side. The redoubtable one, the highly questionable one. Enjoy your weekend.